Racing.
Now, no doubt since we launched e-racing 1 year ago, the platform has gained tremendous momentum.
So about that e-racing.
Now, no doubt since we launched e-racing 1 year ago, the platform has gained tremendous momentum in recent weeks. But we're not just ones to just leave it there.
So just to recap, e-racing, launched in 2019, has become the most realistic simulator in the business. Sure, other simulations might boast about their physics model or their wide range of cars, but e-racing is the only simulation that contains features like riding the tow truck all the way back, having to face your crew when you arrive, concerned texts from your family or friends after you crash, not being allowed to race until the money clears, having to walk the paddock when you're out of money, and of course, making sure you have the perfect excuse to quit.
For some reason in the last couple of weeks, e-racing has enjoyed explosive growth, and especially from professional racers who all of a sudden started signing up. So with that in mind, we have custom tailored our next round of updates exclusively for pro racers who now have a lot of time on their hands.
That's why we welcome you to e-racing Update 2.0. As a driver myself, I know just how hard it can be to make the transition into virtual racing. The first thing you'll notice is, man, some of these virtual racers are fast. Like crazy fast, right? And if there's one thing I know about sports car racing, it's that if you're not fast enough, that's just not fair. And that's why e-racing is the first to introduce virtual driver ratings. That's right. Now, in order to get your e-racing license, you'll have to send in your application to the FEA, which is a dedicated software group in Europe who pays no attention to American sim racing whatsoever, but it gives us a good wall to hide behind when our clients are upset.
Now, driver ratings may sound like something that could make virtual racing more complicated, but at e-racing, we tried to make a driver rating system that was very clear and very easy to understand because we agree it is not fair that pros have to race against amateurs that are much faster than them. First, there's the new e-racing color system. It's very simple to understand. We assign a color that's based on your experience and your talent. Top sim racers will be rated as barn red. Good drivers will be rated as blood red. Decent drivers will be rated as cardinal red. And those needing more experience, crimson.
Now, if this sounds confusing, don't worry. We've put a lot of thought into making this easy. Top drivers are super clear. If you drive for a top sim racing team, if you still live with your parents, if you've never talked to a girl, and if you're Max Verstappen, you are barn red. If you're over 22, however, you're automatically downgraded to blood red. Now let's say you're okay, but you have a real job. Then chances are you'll be rated as cardinal. Cardinal rated drivers have a job, have some sense of social life, understand that this is supposed to be fun, and likely never speak on the e-racing radio. And finally, there's crimson. To become crimson, it's very simple. Just get yelled at by everyone else who doesn't understand that it's supposed to be fun, and that also your sense of self-worth isn't based on driving a racing game.
Are you f***ing donkey? If you just drove back online like that, you'd be dead, wouldn't you? And the world would be a better place.
Also, if you're Ray Alfala, you're just not invited.
Wait, what?
Now, when it comes to pro drivers trying to make the transition to virtual racing, everyone at e-racing knows that driving is only a part of it. Our first feature is e-racing's new walking interview. Are you so mad after an e-race that you can't possibly be bothered to stop, actually speak to a reporter, and represent your sponsors properly? No problem. With e-racing's angry interview feature, you can just keep walking while the media burdens you with trying to do their job.
Guys, I guess they're too mad to talk. Back to you up in the booth.
Everyone at e-racing understands the value of social media. So that's why in our new update, we've added several new features that show you're putting in the work. Now, you're not really a pro racer unless you take 15 shots of yourself at your home gym. And that's why with e-racing, we've built the same feature right into the simulation. With our InstaGym app, your avatar never stops showing the world how you're totally race ready. Still referring to your race car as an office? We got you covered. As soon as you log in, We'll automatically upload photos of your sim rig so that everyone sees your new office. Now, if you want to look like you have a personality on our e-racing platform, but you're not sure how, well, we have a new feature. It's called ePup. With ePup, even if you don't have a personality, our virtual dog will give you something to post about constantly, even if you're really not that interesting. We've even developed this with some of the most benign in the business, like NASCAR winner Alex Bowman.
EPUB? Come on!
Or why not get private coaching from the master himself, Simon Pageant.
Wait. Is that why you wanted us on the video?
Now, our new features don't just stop with driving. eRacing 2.0 also has brand new PR and broadcast updates as well.
With eRacing's new trade show feature, for those trying to get into driving, we've added a new plugin that allows you to virtually walk any major trade show just so you can feel like you're in the scene. We'll even tweet for you with such posts as hanging out with my bros at some generic wraps company, or simply making it look like you're a VIP at a party that really anyone can get into.
And don't worry, just like real trade shows, when a new driver shows up in an e-racing trade show, it's still pointless. Finally, it's not modern sim racing unless there's a broadcast component. And with the recent explosion of sim race broadcasts everywhere, e-racing has also got you covered.
Luckily, eStock Car has actually been ahead of the game for years, having been involved with their own league, broadcast, and completely adopting the virtual space. eStock Car is way ahead of the game, and if you enjoy e-racing style of stock car racing, you will not be disappointed with their broadcast component. For fans of e-open wheel, we're definitely making progress. With plenty of great broadcasts both for European and American open wheel racing, the people in charge are definitely making the right steps to adopt this.
Now for fans of eSports car, don't worry. Senior management is currently putting together an analysis plan in which they can do a data review and then put together an executive subcommittee who will hopefully analyze and then put together an action strategy. Wholesale approach with a global view, but also one that's rooted in grassroots, which, pending further review, will then decide what the best course of action to present to the leadership team might be. And at
Dude, I still have to work in sports car racing. Now, just like real racing, we've noticed that the current racing shutdown has given many racers a new excuse not to just quit the sport, but also humble complain. With our new e-COVID feature, you can now say you've had a big deal cooking, but the shutdown screwed it all up, whether it was true or not. Implement the use of fansplaining, where you pretend to educate the people in the name of advertising how you're out of work. Or why not utilize our new humble complaint option, where you use the opportunity to complain when it's really just an opportunity to show how successful you are. Tow truck rides, walking the paddock, gym selfies,
broadcasts, middle management, pointless trade shows. Whether you liked our first version or our new updated second version, we have it all.
E-racing, the ultimate in realism.
We're on a road trip!
I came down from Kentucky, a place called Breezy Creek. That cornbread and buttermilk was all I had to eat. I have served my country, worked for Uncle Sam, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Oh, give me that cornbread and buttermilk, the country boys delight. I eat it every morning and I eat it every night. Some people like fried chicken, others like the ham, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Yes, cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am.
And I think we're live. Seems like we are.
So, yeah.
We'll just assume we're live. We'll assume
Sure.
people can hear us until it turns out I screwed up again. But welcome to this edition of Thursday Night Blunder. I am Sean Heckman, and with me is, of course, Ryan Eversley. Welcome.
I'm right here, Sean. I'm right with you.
You're right next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're I don't even know where you are, to be honest.
Honestly, half the time I don't either anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I can see you now. I can't. But so it is. This is technically round 5 of Thursday Night Blunder. Before we get through the intros and whatnot, as we always do, since we can't hear what you're hearing, let us know on them YouTube chats if you can hear us okay, if you can see us okay, if there's any issues. If you're not on YouTube, if you're on Facebook or Twitch, we certainly encourage you to keep watching, comment amongst yourselves, but we will not see those. We'll only see the YouTube comments. So otherwise, hopefully everybody can hear us okay. And otherwise, here we are. Where are we?
Yeah, it looks like it's working pretty well so far. Everybody in the chat room seems to be saying we're good to go. So
Perfect.
I think we're okay. But we're coming at you live from ELDORA in Rossburg, or near Rossburg, Ohio. And when we were kicking around ideas for this season of Thursday Night Blunder, first thing that comes to mind is always a dirt track. Second thing that comes to mind genuinely has something to do with the Formula One car, right, Sean?
Usually. I mean, they have to go together. We in fact have been to ELDORA before, and we have been to ELDORA with F1 cars before. We decided to mix it up this time. So we'll cut to some track action. We'll take a look at what we're doing. But so this is one class. So you're going to see a mixture of cars here today. But they are all racing together. If you watched our figure 8 race a few weeks ago, you'll know we kind of took a choose your weapon approach. We're not all cars were necessarily matched on pace, but they all had strengths and weaknesses. And tonight is one of those nights. So we have two types of F1 cars that are racing out there. We're gonna right now we're looking at Stephen Moore, and Stephen's actually a really good one to watch. He is in the McLaren MP430. We'll stick with Stephen if he's on track, Marco. But Stephen is driving the McLaren MP430. That's the I don't know what year that is, like 5 or 6 year old McLaren F1 car.
Yeah.
Has Honda power. And
which was very publicly, I think they celebrated it.
Yeah, it was very revered. Is that the word?
Yes.
Well,
yeah,
it was.
Sure.
It was definitely legendary.
Yeah, they made a big deal of it.
Yeah, it was a highly discussed engine in F1. And Stephen Moore is using that to power himself around the dirt of ELDORA here.
Oh.
And he was, but now we're looking at Doug
Right.
Waite, who's also in the same kind of car. And anyway, so we got McLaren F1s, but then we've got this literally just launched a day ago, and so we decided let's go ahead and add it. iRacing has just launched the Mercedes F1 W12, which is literally the car that is racing in the 2021 season in F1. So this is as current as it can get. You'll see a similar version of this car in real life on Sunday for the big F1 finale.
Yeah, and obviously, when like I said, when we talk about dirt tracks, we talk about Formula One cars. And
Absolutely.
So, it made sense to have the McLaren, and then when the Mercedes became available, which is probably why you're going to see mostly just Mercedes liveries on it, it felt wrong to not invite it.
Well, and actually, there's it's funny you mentioned the Mercedes livery. So there's actually kind of a weird catch with this car, which is going to play a role in our race. So we won't get into the specifics of contracts and politics, but that car is not free to have custom liveries within iRacing system. So as normally, when you watch our racing, you're used to seeing crazy fun cars and tribute liveries and heritage things. With the Mercedes F1 car specifically, you are not going to see any retro liveries or redone liveries. The only thing you can do is slightly customized paints that don't have stickers on them. So, for example, as we look at Cade McKee here, he's in a blue and white Mercedes F1 car, but notice how it doesn't have stickers? There's nothing we can do about that, and there's nothing Cade can do about that. That's just the deal.
See.
Now, having said that, our whole policy with wave-arounds and yellows is you only get a wave-around if you are in a paint job that we like, that pays homage to one of our guests or, one of our episode themes. That rule still applies here. So, even like, and we made this very clear to our participants. Like, yeah, we understand the limitations, but that's on you. You chose to run
you chose
this.
that car. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are still going to hold people to that rule, even though they're kind of helpless. But you will see, as you're seeing with Davis Trask and probably about 30 other guys tonight, you're going to see a lot of Mercedes F1 tributes. I'm going to avoid any other jokes like that.
Right.
But anyway.
A lot of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas fans.
Yeah, exactly. And now we are, of course, on dirt, and that leads to one other car. Now we're gonna look at the Audi90 GTO of Ed Smith, and so this is a vintage car. This car raced in the late '80s in IMSA, and did it race in Trans Am?
I think it did race in a variation of it raced in Trans Am.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is the Audi90 GTO, which was a big staple of sports car racing way back when. But specific to racing at the there he goes.
Goodness. Goodness.
Well,
wow.
When all four wheels are on the ground, Ryan, wheels are on the ground, what makes this car particularly unique for something like Eldora?
So obviously Eldora being dirt, it's going to be low grip, and the reason that this car was extremely successful and then outlawed in IMSA GTO racing is because it is in fact all-wheel drive.
It is in fact all-wheel drive. So it's heavier than the F1 car. It doesn't have as much power as the F1 car, but it does have four-wheel drive, which will kind of play out in its own unique way. But the other thing is, compared to the F1 car, it's got fenders.
Right.
Which
right.
is go ahead.
Yeah, in a low grip situation like we've been seeing, as we see a huge impact there between that F1 car and Patrick Lindsay of Trading Paints fame. You're going to want a car with fenders at a track like this almost every single time. Now, obviously, the F1 car is sexy and it's a lot faster outright performance, but it does end up getting tipped over. It does end up breaking. So exactly. I think the Audi's the safe bet.
Exactly. So as we watch John Cantu here, you can see exactly how he's making those four wheels of power move as he threads the car sideways, then kind of hits the gas or another car, and keeps it moving. But it doesn't just stop there. So that's 3 of the 5 cars that are on track right now. 2 different F1 cars, the Audi90 GTO, and as we look at Art Reimer here, this is the Dirt Street Stock, which is our 4th of 5 cars. Again, all one class. These guys are all competing against each other, and it's not multi-class like you would see in IMSA. All of these are vying for the same spots. Art is in a Dirt Street Stock. It's not going to perform like the Audi. It's not going to perform like the F1 car. But when it comes to tires, which Ryan and I are, of course, experts on, what makes this Dirt Street Stock particularly unique?
Well, I'm imagining that it's going to be riding on the Dirt Street Stock tire that Continental Tire provides.
Exactly.
But it is absolutely a car built for a track like this, whereas the Formula One car is absolutely not built for a track like this.
Exactly.
So while it might not be exotic, and you could probably buy about 100 of these cars, not exaggerating, you could probably buy 100 of these cars for the cost of a modern day F1 car.
Yep.
Maybe even more.
I'd say more.
Yeah, probably even more. It is exactly what this track is designed for.
Exactly. So these cars are built for this kind of track, but especially the tires. They are running dirt tires, which as the chaos of potentially 50 cars on the track at the same time will create, having the dirt tires to maneuver around is a nice little advantage. And speaking of dirt cars, we have one final car in the big race here, and that is the Dirt Legends. That's Daniel Vaught that we're watching right now. Now, originally we were going to have these guys as their own class, but we ran some prelim races last night, and it turns out these cars actually can compete with everybody, and they're pretty darn durable. So we said, screw it. Why have multi-class if we don't need it? So we're going to run them. So these are Dirt Legends. They're smaller, but they're also more nimble, and they have street tires. So, Ryan, what are some of the advantages of something like that?
You know, a Dirt Legend is a fun car to drive. It's super small, so it's going to be able to shoot the gap through some of the chaos we normally see. But they're also pretty strong because they've been racing these things for a long time. So it's got a high revving motorcycle engine, so it's going to have good power if you can keep it up on the chip. But it is way better around here in terms of damage than, let's say, an F1 car would be. So
exactly.
I think they're like a little pit bull. You know, they're strong, they're meaty, they're a lot of fun to drive, but they're also pretty quick for their size and capability.
Exactly. So once again, if you have any feedback on sound or picture quality, if there's anything going wrong, let us know. But otherwise, we assume everything is good. So that is the rundown of the cars. This is, as we said earlier, kind of a choose-your-weapon scenario. All these cars are competing against each other. So as you see, there's a couple of F1 cars going right by Kenneth Drake driving here. But here's the thing. They might wreck. And they do get resets. They're going to get 2 resets tonight. But in a 75-lap race, and potentially 50 cars on track at the same time, and you're seeing the chaos here in practice, the likelihood of using both of your resets and then some is pretty high. And the thing about these F1 cars is once they get damaged, that's it. You can't necessarily run without things attached to the car, whereas some of these other cars you can. So do you choose the nimble, fast F1 car that's on slick tires and can't grip, if you look at it wrong, it's going to be damaged? Or do you take the Dirt Legends, which has dirt tires, it's small, it's nimble, it's not particularly fast, but it's pretty darn sturdy?
Yeah, we just saw a Legend put a bumper on one of those Audis, and that Audi went straight in the wall. So the Legend, although it is quite small, like I said, it's a sturdy little guy, and it was able to just send that Audi right in the fence pretty heavily. So they're not going to be getting pushed around out there, even though they are the smallest car on track.
Exactly. Now, we did run 2 prelim races last night to get a feel. The F1 cars were pretty strong, but we had about a third the field size, and we're pretty certain that's going to be a big difference maker. With us, as always, running the admins and running the cameras is Marco and Tyler. Marco, if we could have a different camera angle, my computer's freaking out a little bit. There we go. Tyler actually ran one of the races last night. And what was your experience, Tyler?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and probably the most the Thursday night Blunder race that took the most concentration
Nice.
in the Mercedes on the dirt.
Yeah, we were talking.
It was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was pretty much a constant balance game with the throttle, so as to not pitch yourself into the wall, and that's not even factoring in the other cars on track.
Yeah, and you had the Mercedes F1,
who you can't avoid. If somebody is stopped in front of you, your only hope is that they reset before you get to them. That's pretty much the amount of avoidance you can do in the Mercedes.
And that seemed to be the theme of last night, is that, yeah, you're fast, but once you commit to the corner, you're committed, right?
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah,
you can't change.
Once you put your foot on the throttle, you are going where you're going.
Right.
And if somebody is in your way,
exactly,
you're probably going to end up worse for it.
Right. So, for example, we're watching Zachary Lewis going around. As soon as he commits to the throttle, if a Legends or a Dirt Street stock happens to spin right in front of him and get in his way, he's pretty much going to hit him. There's nothing he can do, and that's the challenge of these slick tire cars.
Yeah, it's going to be treacherous, and as you said, there were maybe 15 cars we had to avoid last night. Well, there were maybe 15 cars we had to avoid last night, and I think we're nearing on 50.
Nice.
Tonight, so it's going to be.
There, perfect example right there. So Stephen Moore, he's in our McLaren F1 car. He raced last night as well. He was exciting as heck to watch because he was sideways pretty much everywhere and super, super fast. But perfect example, like you saw right there. Once everybody stacked up in front of him, he's going to hit him. There's nothing he can do. Versus some of the dirt tire cars like the Legends or the Street Stock, they may have some opportunity to be able to change their direction mid-course. Oh. And we're going over. Excellent.
So we got a question from the chat room.
Sure.
And I see his name on the board. I'm excited to see what he came up with. But a couple people wondering, what is Tommy Milner driving out there?
What is Tommy Milner driving? Let's go ahead and bring him on. So, well, he might not be in the car right now. Oh, he might be taking a quick little break. Let's wait till he's back out on track, unless he's in the room.
Yeah. But it looks like is he in an Audi? Is that what we're seeing here?
Is he? Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yep, he is.
Heading out on track.
All right. So, Marco, if we can try and bring him into the chat, or into the...
He's in.
Oh, he is. Tommy, are you there?
I'm here.
There we go. We got Tommy on our little comms channel over here. He's going to be our in-race reporter for tonight. And Tommy is, of course, for those who don't know, Tommy is, of course, a factory driver for Corvette and a star of a little podcast known as Dinner with Racers, which just dropped 2 weeks ago. But we have our 3rd or 4th episode in is Tommy. And any bad feedback? Have you gotten in trouble yet?
I've had to explain myself a couple times to friends, family.
Oh.
Even so, the wife was there. She still had some questions afterwards.
Okay.
Wow.
But otherwise, all good.
But management-wise, no trouble?
So far, so good.
Okay.
But it's still early.
Sure. Now, Tommy, you're out here in the Audi. What drove you to pick that as the car for tonight's race?
It just looks like a big, beefy car. Based on the cars out here, that looks like it's going to be a huge part of making it to the end tonight.
Right.
Another reason was this was some of the guys that worked for my dad at PTG actually worked on this program.
Okay.
Some of the engine stuff there. So, and obviously, big Hans Schuck fan, and he drove this thing too. So, lots of reasons.
Yeah. No, that
Very,
all
very
adds up.
cool. And then what's the livery that we're running tonight?
This is just a thrown together. Don't want to run a default paint scheme. I got my team name on the side there. I've got a pretty important message for everybody on the racetrack tonight as well in the rear bumper.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yes. God bless you. All right. So we legitimately didn't know this going into our podcast with you because we recorded that back in June, but we called you Tommy Milner Jr. And apparently this is a sore spot because you're Tommy for a reason to differentiate you. You don't need to be Junior.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm over the heartache of people calling me Junior from a long time ago, but it doesn't bother me as much anymore. Even so, obviously, when we had our little conversation there at Watkins Glen, I wouldn't say it's a sore subject per se, to be completely honest, but yeah, don't call me Junior.
Okay, so here's our question because we've seen a few of the preview liveries. There are a few Tommy Milner tribute liveries that are going to be out there. There are a few references to Junior, if I saw. Is there any potential danger for those guys if they reference
Well, there's
Junior?
a little. Yeah, there was some smack talk on Twitter earlier on.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go back and check the guy's name, and if he's out there, I'm taking him out for sure.
Good. This is what we like to hear.
I think it was Blake
Yes, and if somebody comes on the mic during the race and calls me Junior, it's a guarantee.
It's happening.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're getting dumped.
So shots fired here.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a warning to anybody. And the one thing we know about Tommy, he's not afraid of anything. He'll go for it here. So. Yeah.
Now, while you're in the chat room with us to talk, Tyler is our admin as well. So, hey, Tyler, if something were to happen where Tommy got triggered and Tommy did something to get a black flag through the system to go after somebody, would you be able to clear that black flag?
Well, that wouldn't be very fair, would it?
I think it would be okay.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, the question is, could you do it?
We'll have to wait and see. But
okay, but there's potential to clear black
I do
flags.
have some pretty almighty power. Over the black flags.
Okay.
All right.
I expect as a esteemed guest tonight that it's just you just have it keyed up, just copy and paste. You're just clearing black flags for me all race long.
Yeah, we'll try to take care of you. You've given us a lot of your time.
I won't divulge whether I have a clear 6 hotkey for your car now, but I might.
All right. Well, on that note, Tommy, what should we expect from you tonight? And then we're going to take a quick break and go get Lin.
I thought about taking it easy. I did some practice laps, just running around the inside.
Yep.
Just to survive. But that wasn't very much fun, so I'm just going to send it.
Yes.
Attaboy.
All right.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get to it.
That is, we'll let you go. So we haven't even mentioned that we have a cool guest. So let's give a quick little rundown on who we're about to talk to, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll get her on. So Ryan, we have a special in the booth guest tonight, which, we'll bring this up when she's on, but to this day I have no idea why she gives us any time.
Yeah, obviously we've had our fair share of legends on the show. We've had Ryan Lewis, we've had Eric Valdez. But when it comes to actual badasses, actual people that we look up to and have admired our whole lives, when we got to have dinner with Lin St. James, we were just blown away. I mean, that was early days for us. We still couldn't believe we were getting the likes of people like Lin. And then she turned out to be awesome. So when we reached out for her to be a guest commentator for us on Thursday Night Blunder and she accepted, we knew that we must have done something right because she should absolutely give us zero time.
Absolutely. And yet she is. We will bring her on in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break. So we're going to show you a short video that features Eldora. Now, we did announce this a few weeks ago. You used to be able to watch this documentary series on a streaming network that it's no longer on, but that's a good thing because we will one day announce where we're going to be. But we did have a documentary series called Dinner with Razors. We still do. It's going to end up somewhere else, but we have an old episode where we went to Eldora as part of a larger look at tracks going through the COVID crisis. And here's a little visit to Eldora Raceway, Speedway. What's it called? Speedway.
Yeah, sure.
Eldora. Here's a visit
Eldora.
that we did to Eldora. We'll be right back.
There are now 28,952 cases of coronavirus here in Ohio. A total of 12,615 people have been hospitalized since March, an increase of 86 from yesterday.
We spoke with another racetrack who mentioned that politicians aren't necessarily alien to golf courses.
Yeah.
And so an event like a Golf Masters or something like that might get pushed a little bit faster, whereas racing's not necessarily a politician's sport that they go and play on Saturday or Sunday when they have the day off.
I would say that we as an industry have not done a good job representing ourselves.
Dirt track racing or motorsport as a whole?
Motorsports as a whole.
Yeah.
That's probably something that we got to change pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is that in terms of just it's hard to classify?
Speedways are not mentioned in anything.
So, like, you'll see campgrounds, you'll see gathering events or gathering coliseums, things like that.
Yeah.
But a racetrack
stadiums,
doesn't.
arenas, amusement,
Yeah.
entertainment.
Right. And so, what is a racetrack and all of that? It's not defined here in Ohio.
And Ohio's got racetracks, quite a few. So.
61.
Here in June, we're right in the nexus of that battle between lives versus livelihoods.
Right.
And with altering science every week and different media reports and whatnot, it's so hard to make that call as to where that balance is. As it relates to something like a racetrack, which is sort of a microcosm of that small business scenario, is there a process you feel like you have to go through to make that choice?
There's a variety of sources of information for elected officials. Newspapers, the media, TV news, and so forth. In my mind, the best source is my constituents, the 85,000 people that have hired me to work for them. But then lobbyists, and we talked earlier, a NASCAR can hire a lobbyist, but Ace Speedway can't afford to hire a lobbyist. And to many folks, lobbyist is a bad word. But at the same time, there is value in having someone who understands an industry and understands politics and that can come explain their position on the issue to me.
I would argue in the grand scheme of short tracks, dirt tracks, nationwide Eldora is one of, if not the biggest track out there.
Yeah, you don't have to argue. It's true.
Excuse me. In our whole tour, it seems like the bigger tracks are far more compliant. Is that cause or effect?
Tony owns this place. He wants to do things right. I think the other thing you got to look at it is Tony actually owns this place.
So if you guys, for lack of a better expression, went rogue, this doesn't become Eldora is fighting with the government to keep themselves out there.
Right.
It's literally one of the biggest names in motorsport that's going to be attached to this, and he's going to end up on the Today Show.
Go from Eldora to Tony Stewart's racetrack.
Yeah.
Is what they call it.
And I mean, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
I came down from Kentucky, a place called Breezy Creek. That cornbread and buttermilk was all I had to eat. I have served my country, worked for Uncle Sam, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Oh, give me that cornbread and buttermilk, the country boys delight. I eat it every morning and I eat it every night. Some people like fried chicken, others like the ham, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Yes, cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am.
right, we are back to Thursday Night Blunder. There are only a couple minutes left in practice before we get qualifying here at the chaos of Eldora. Here at Eldora Speedway, we got F1 cars, we got Dirt Legends, we got Dirt Street Talks, we got the Audi90 GTO. And speaking of which, we have somebody who's actually raced against that Audi90 GTO in real life, if I'm correct. So I don't know why you're doing this, but we're going to welcome Lin St. James to tonight's broadcast. How are you, Lin?
I am great, thank you. Yeah, when the minute I saw that was one of the cars racing, I'm like, I brought back some memories. I always used to hate that car.
Yeah, right. So you raced against that car in IMSA or Trans Am?
In Trans Am.
Right. And any
and
fond
watch
memories?
that all-wheel drive. You know, there was the thing because they could go through the freaking corners unbelievable because they had that all-wheel drive. You know.
Right.
And so that is. Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, now John Cantu's out there running a special tribute livery on that car, which will be kind of confusing at first, I'm sure. But you might recognize the livery on
They
here.
said it looks like my secret.
Yeah. However, it's not on your car; it's on the Audi. But you know, it's a tribute to you.
That was nice. Yeah, that's how
Right?
nice. I thought I saw that a minute ago, and then I'm like, no, it can't be.
Yeah, and look at the detail they put into it. I mean, like
Yeah,
these
the
guys-
Women's Sports Foundation, my logo, and those secret colors.
Yeah, and then
That is very neat. That is. I wish I got to get a picture of that or something.
yeah, we can absolutely
I
get.
just took out that Legends car.
Now, Lynn, have you been to Eldora before?
I have. I wanted to try to hit all the tracks, particularly when I was hanging out a lot in Indianapolis, in Indiana. And I went there after Tony bought it, and I was able to hang out with him. He took me around on his tractor, and he was so proud of what he had done, the upgrades that he had done and everything, and particularly the fencing. And then I got to hang out in the infield and watch him run, you know. And then Tony would go out and help track down. And I mean, he was so engaged and involved. It was, oh my God, it was really cool to be there and see him race and be with Tony.
So we're about 2 minutes into qualifying here of a 5-minute session. Have you ever raced on dirt?
No, I haven't. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I did. I did once. Oh my God. It was the most horrific experience I've had. It was in a stock car down in Alabama.
Yes.
And a dealer, I was doing a dealer appearance for Ford, and the dealer had the car all made out, had my name on it. And by the time I got to the track, the car had already run and it was broken. And I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not going to have to get in it. And they said, no, they sent a guy out that was, one of the locals to check the car out on the track. And when they saw the car with my name on it, they just basically, they hit it and it went out off of the track. It went over the fence. And so but then they said, well, don't worry, we can fix it. And so they changed the shocks and the suspension that was broken. And I ended up sitting on these books, phone books, and then got strapped in, and the race had already started, and I had to go out and join them. But it's the only time that I've ever closed my eyes in a race car because I was sure I was going to hit the wall, and I didn't. And I actually just followed the guys that I was following, and it was fun. I mean, I kind of got it figured out, I finished. I mean, it didn't matter how, but I was laps down,
Well, I think you do better than some of our drivers right now.
Yes. Yes.
So, anyway, so we've got. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, now we've got obviously the GTO cars out there. We've got Dirt Legends and we have the street stocks, but you probably recognize that we have a couple of Formula One cars out there as well.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been Indy cars, but I mean, they with the front wing that it looks like it's really a Formula One car. Yeah, and I was thinking, I mean, how in the hell with turbos and everything? But it's not. Whoever's in those are not doing too bad.
Well, that's actually part of the racing here. Is that so? These are not dirt tires either. These are slick tires. So, for example, I'm not sure who we're watching right now. Oh, but he's got a Lin St. James tribute on his car. Let's take a look at his nose. Well, we might not be able to. Okay. Well, through the fence there, you can. There's a photo view.
What's left of it? Yeah. There's a four-wheeler. Yeah.
But so this is the challenge of this race. So these cars are all in one class together. So these F1 cars, they've got the F1 nimbleness and the power. But look at the JC Penney and the Nike. Oh, and if you look at, and even on the air scoop, he's got a little Dick Simon cartoon drawing from our show.
Oh, from our show.
Yeah,
That's
because
great.
obviously you and Dick Simon spent so many years
Oh my
together.
God.
But so you've got the four-wheel drive of the Audi, but it's obviously got slick tires. You've got the F1 cars, which are fastest, but they've got slick tires and they're super fragile. And then you've got sort of the slower but dirt-intended street stocks and Legends cars. If you were going to pick a weapon for this race between those, anything stand out to you?
Well, I mean, it would have to be the Audi. I mean, really. Oh my God, that was just awful. It would have to be the Audi, and I hope it would be the one with my livery on it. I don't know, but there's this is really chaotic compared to when I first started watching you guys. So, but oh God.
Well, it's just qualifying. They're just trying to set laps.
Crash.
It's just qualifying.
Oh my God.
So qualifying just ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You come right back, right? I mean,
Yeah. So they're gonna be done here, and then we'll see who the fastest lap time is, and then we'll actually have a 75 lap race, and there will be a couple yellows. We should. I was thinking about this.
75 lap race.
Yeah, it'll go quick.
Yeah, it'll go quicker than you think because we control the yellows. But do you know Decal?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever meet Decal in your days in IMSA or Trans Am? Does that ring a bell?
No.
The mechanic Decal? I'm not sure that he would have crossed paths with him.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Well, we might have run out of time for the national anthem because he sang the national anthem for us. You know what? Let's show it for a minute and see if the cars roll out. We'll be right back.
There we go.
Hold on.
Okay. Hang on.
Say, can you see?
Start over.
By the dawn's early light. Okay, we got the dawn's early light on now?
Yep. Say, can you say, by the dawn's early light,
what
so proudly we hailed
at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Boom, boom, boom.
for the
ramparts we watched
were
so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare,
the pumps bursting in
air, they
gave
proved
through
the night that
our
the flag is still there.
Oh,
say does that star-spangled banner. Yeah, it's waving. O'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. Play ball! Oh, wrong sport. Sorry, guys.
All right, we are back. That was the dulcet sounds of Decal singing the national anthem, and we are rolling now. This is the beginning of the action here, and who is on pole? Looks like we've got a bunch of F1 cars on pole as expected. The question is, will they survive? They will get 2 resets, but in 75 laps and 50 cars, you'll burn through those resets pretty quick. So the question is, will we have any F1 cars left by the end? If you can survive, you might have a chance at winning, but the survival is going to be the big question.
Yeah, it looks like the JCPenney car is on the pole.
Is it? Is
that
Cade
would
McKee?
be awesome.
Doesn't look like it. Where is the JC? No, that's all right. That's one of the Mercedes.
Oh, okay.
Sadly.
I saw the blue and the white. Okay.
But it looks like, as you pointed out, Sean, it is absolutely a very heavy front-end field of Formula One cars. But I do see the next car in line is the Audi. So.
Oh, yeah. So it should be an interesting fight here. Now we're about to go green.
So the traditional dirt car's not the preferred car here in qualifying. We'll see how they do in the race.
That's impressive.
Now
Pace truck is coming in here.
Pace truck is in. Now the track state will be completely clean dirt, which means it has not slicked in. It'll favor the dirt cars at the beginning here. And we're green.
Green.
All right,
Cade with a big run into one. Got a little loose there. He might lose the lead down the back straight.
And this is about as clean as it's going to get for a while. And it's already started.
Chaos.
It's already started. Oh.
There we go.
There we go. Now let's see what happens. Now this is where it's going to get tricky because once the F1 cars come in, like Jacob Campbell right there.
Yeah.
As we learned earlier, Lin, because they're slick tires and they're fast, once you sort of commit to the corner, the line you're on is the line you're on, and if cars stop in front of it, you're going to hit them.
Yeah,
and this is where it gets kind of interesting. So Jacob Campbell currently leading over Cade McKee, and looks like the field is kind of settled in. No crazy chaos just yet. We're watching Matthew Struckman.
Yeah, we're going 4 wide here.
4 wide, I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty aggressive driving by these F1 guys coming through the field. They've got a lot to lose if they're a little too hard on these sedans.
And as we mentioned earlier, if you have questions for Lin as we get going into the first half of the race here, this is the time to ask them. Again, if you are on our Facebook pages, either Continental or Dinner with Racers, same with our Twitch, we won't see those, but we will see questions directed at our YouTube account. So if you have questions, we just may pass them along.
Yeah, we're getting a pit lane report from Andrew Pinkerton that the brakes in the open wheel cars are just horrendous on dirt. So if you find yourself trying to avoid something, it might be pretty much impossible.
Oh, Jacob Campbell. Jacob Campbell was really strong in our prelim races last night where we were testing this all out. You can see he's already missing the front wing. And as we said, you've got 2 resets, so he can go into the pits and get his car serviced and sort of bring it back to good as new. But we're only 6 laps into a 75-lap race. Once you're out of resets, that's it. Your car is going to be toast.
I don't think a single Formula 1 car still has its front wing, which is exactly what we hoped for.
Exactly.
But at least it's still got suspension. I mean, that's, I guess I don't quite understand when those things crash because you know how fragile the suspension is on those.
Yeah, it is also a computer interpretation, so who knows how this really goes down. We don't want to get into the simulation versus video game debate. We will lose the internet.
It's a video game, bro. No, it's not. Once again, we have Lin St. James here. If you have any questions for in the chat room, we'd be happy. We have one right now from Michael Parsons. He says, how did it feel to make the Indy 500 for the first time?
It was awesome. I mean, I don't think my feet touched the ground the whole month of May. Fortunately, my butt got in the car okay, but, really, I was just walking on air, I felt the whole time, It was really amazing.
Can't imagine.
And obviously, we discussed that obviously quite a bit when we did a podcast with you back in 2017, where obviously you talked about that in great deal. We also did the same thing with Dick Simon, who told quite a few great Lin St. James stories. So, are you and Dick still in touch?
Oh yeah. He just had knee replacement surgery a couple months ago.
Did he do it himself?
Well, he probably left walking out, is my guess, but he didn't do it himself. No, I kept texting him and telling him, please do the physical therapy, and do the work. But,
he knows
at
better
the age
than
of
the
88.
doctors. Right.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. I think when we did our second visit with him to do the animated episodes.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Our favorite story, I don't remember if this made the edit, but he had just fallen off of a ladder a couple weeks earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's because he was trying to save $100 on changing lights himself.
Right, doing it himself.
Yeah, at 87 years old. There's absolutely no reason he needs to be doing that. But he's like, no, I got this. I'm Dick Simon.
Well, and then I don't know if you saw it, but this year, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, there was this whole big article about the D.B. Cooper thing again.
Oh, and he's back now? Did we do that?
Yeah, it hit the news,
Yeah. That's awesome.
We got a question from Andrew Pinkerton, who is a sharp little racer himself and a big fan and contributor to our Thursday Night Blunder races. He wants to know, have you ever been blacklisted from a rental car company?
Ooh.
Oh, no, I haven't, but I should have been. But it was at the time that, I remember parking it like as far away from when I returned it, because it was the guy, I had turned the car upside down with the crew in the car at Lime Rock, but they rolled me back over and they kept pounding it out for the rest of the weekend. So I just parked it as far away as I could, and I never heard from him. So
nice.
All right, you got away with it. Meanwhile, Alex Albert, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, that was new.
Quick racing note, Jacob Campbell, who was really strong last night in our prelim races, has already used up one of his resets. We saw him in the pits earlier, and he may have already used 2. You can, if you look at our top 4.
He's down to 5th, yeah.
Yeah, top 4 are now occupied by F1 cars, which means the others are already dropping out, and we're not 16 laps into the race. So the durability of the F1 cars, which was the inherent risk in choosing that, is already showing up. Now, we might have yellows. We don't know.
Yeah.
But
So you guys just arbitrarily put a yellow
we
out?
don't.
Whoa,
Lynn, how dare you?
whoa,
we have
whoa.
integrity.
How dare? Yeah. Well, I thought we were.
Well, you don't have, you're like NASCAR yellows, right?
Oh!
I did not say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite arbitrary yellow that you've ever heard of?
Me?
Yeah, do you have a favorite?
Oh, well, yeah, debris on the track.
Are you seeing debris on the track right now, Lynn? I think she's seeing. I think Lin St. James just saw debris on the track.
Lin St. James just said NASCAR has debris on the track.
Yeah, and we're yellow. And
Oh,
we're
man,
yellow.
of course.
Weird. Safety first, Lynn. Safety first.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
And now the camera goes around trying to find the debris.
Right. And then there'll be like a little tiny piece of something like, oh yeah, that right there, that's a problem.
Or when it was, when it's the wrappers out of the stands, which of course,
the hot dog.
could actually get in the radiator and cause a problem. But then, of course, the wind blows it away.
All right. Well, now that we have our completely not arbitrary yellow, this was clearly for safety and integrity in our series. Right. Once the field gets bunched up, here's the next part of our, of course, high integrity series. Is so we have wave arounds, just like you do in real racing, but our wave arounds are dictated by one very specific thing. If you are a lap or many down, which many are already, we are going to give you a wave around based purely on if we like your paint job. And that's it. So with all the cars,
I want to know the name or who's driving my at least my secret car or the
John Cantu has. Hey, so let me put you guys on pause for a second. Tyler, I don't even know where to start. Who would you like to start with in terms of lap down? The 2 lap downs, the 1 lap downs?
We can start with the 1 lap downs, which should be Jonathan Kraus.
Okay, so let's
the first car 1 lap.
Let's start with Jonathan Kraus, and then we'll kind of go. So we're going to go through some of these cars. So like this is an old Amsoil. I'm saying no because this isn't themed with us. So next car.
It's not. Yeah, not themed with us. Not themed with Lynn.
Exactly. Oh, this is John Cantu.
Question.
This is the
No
Lin St.
question.
James Tribute Audi. Let's take a look at the side here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good with this, obviously.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
it's got a little body damage. I've had body damage like that. Yes.
Women's Sports
number
Foundation.
76.
Number 76 of John Cantu gets a wave around. John Cantu, 76, gets a wave by. Next car. All right. This is Ed Smith in a Dinner with Racers themed Audi. I say it's not Lin St. James, but I'm good with it. Ed Smith in the 14. Ed Smith in the 14 gets a wave around.
Big Continental logos. He's got Honda and RSX, which are conflicting brands, but that's
fine.
okay.
Next up.
Send it on around.
Next up. Stephen Moore. This is in the McLaren Valvoline Continental F1.
Yeah.
He gets a wave around. Stephen Moore in the 11 gets a wave around. Next car. Let's jump to
Lewis.
Zach Lewis. We're having a little bit of trouble, but Zach Lewis in the 20 gets a wave around. Next car.
Yep.
What is going on here? So James Nelson in the 23. I don't understand.
It's got an extra tire on the roof, doesn't it? On the hood.
Is that the air
that's the air filter.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the 7-Eleven car in tribute of our guest.
There you go.
It's a wave around.
All right. James Nelson in the 23 gets a wave around.
Yep. Big logos there for us.
All right.
Now,
Alex Albert. This looks like it's got. I don't see anything that looks like us. No, that's not us. Nope. Alex Albert doesn't get. He gets nothing.
Nope.
All right. Next car.
Yeah. Terrible. All right. We got a Xerox car.
Yep. I'm good with this.
I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, send it.
Connor Kennard in the 39 gets a wave around.
Yeah.
Connor Kennard in the 39 gets a wave around. Daniel Vaught.
Now, Dan Vaught's a regular, but that's not looking like much of a.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Next.
Oh, no. ICP, absolutely not. All right, we're moving on.
In fact, 2 laps down.
What else have we got? Kenneth Drake. Nope. Next car.
Nothing. Yeah. Not sure what that's about.
What do we got?
Okay,
Ben Cox.
the
Okay.
26.
Oh, that's a Tommy Milner tribute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
So I'm good with that. It says, if you look at the rear, there you go. Tommy F. Milner.
Not Junior.
Not
Okay,
Junior.
definitely.
Okay, he's getting a wave around. So Ben Cox in the 26. Ben Cox in the 26 gets a wave around.
All right, and then Duff, Honda, of course, big sponsor of ours.
So Noah Wheeler in the 19. Noah Wheeler in the 19 gets a wave
like
around.
a Honda F1 tribute. Yeah. And then
nope.
Hunter Smith. No, sorry,
Mercedes
buddy.
F1, love it, but no. Yep, next car.
Nothing to do with us.
Jacob Campbell, nope. Next car.
False. Struckman, come on, give me something
What
to
have we got for Matthew Struckman? Let's go to another car and come back to Matthew. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the feed.
Yeah,
all
definitely
right.
Tommy Milner.
Milner gets a wave around.
Yeah, he gets everything he wants.
Matthew Struckman, he gets a wave around in the 28. 28, Matthew Struckman gets a wave around.
Should we call it Atterbury 20th?
Sure. Let's move on to Atterbury.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's old Jatterboo going to get for us? Joey
Let's see.
Atterbury,
Let's move away from Atterbury for a second. I'm having some computer issues.
Sure. This is fun.
Let's go to. There we go. All right, Joey Atterbury in the 20. There you
Definitely.
go.
Definitely.
Yes.
Just be, yeah. yes.
So this look familiar,
All right.
Lynn?
Yes.
Seen that before?
I think that's called the Sebring win.
That is the Sebring winner right there in Quattro format.
Well, in Quattro form, yes.
Yeah. So this was your old Jack
Very,
Roush
very
car. So Joey Atterbury, number 4, gets a wave around.
Yeah, Jatterboo with the win there. Very good job. All right.
Ian Farrell.
We should probably
call it. We got to get going here. Are we running out of cars here? How many laps down are we?
We've got about 4 more laps. So.
Okay, let's do a couple more and then we'll move on. If you're
Okay.
5 laps down, you're in trouble anyway.
Top 25. Let's run through it.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Ian Farrell gets nothing.
Nothing for Ian Farrell. Having some computer issues for Jason Owens. Let's go to Justin Parcher.
Justin Parcher.
Oh, that's a beautiful, yeah,
absolutely.
Justin Parcher in the
Look at that
55 gets a wave around for sure.
Beautifully sponsored Continental Audi.
Jason
And
Owens.
Then,
look at that.
Definitely. Lin St. James rocks right on the hood.
Yep.
That was nice.
And he's running the new Integra livery, so he's keeping me employed with Acura. I appreciate that.
So Jason Owens in the 22 or the 18. I'm not sure which. He gets a wave around.
22, it looks like.
Yeah.
18 in P22, but close enough.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, teamwork. We got it, baby.
And Daniel Parks.
Oh, yeah.
37. With the Rutledge wood.
Oh, and he put a Rutledge on the car because Rutledge is actually in the other room, so that's cool.
There you go. So Daniel Parks.
Cruise the Continental US.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
Very
All right.
good.
Wave around for Daniel Parks, 37. All right, we're going to stop there.
Doesn't look like Reimer would have got one anyway.
Yeah.
Based on that. So once again, we look for our liveries, our guests, any sort of tributes that pertain to the show, and that's how you get away by. Easy to do.
Exactly. So are we going green in a lap or two? Is that right, Tyler?
Should be.
All right. So we'll stay green.
That's a real mix now in the front.
Yeah. In fact, so F1 is now down to only the top 3. John Cantu is up to P4 in that Lin St. James Audi. Ed Smith is in P5, so it's a pretty good mix so far.
Yeah.
And we have our first all-purpose dirt car in P6. So, and we're not even halfway. Now I would expect, and we'll see because of course integrity matters. I'd expect that we'll probably stay green for quite a bit, and then maybe yellow towards the end.
Maybe you never
know.
But
we'll see. Yeah.
So we got a question for Lynn from Max Radke from Willoughby, Ohio. He'd like to know, did you know that Dick Simon had a crazy life when you drove for him?
I learned that through the course of the month. I didn't know that ahead of time, but then as I got to know Dick, oh my God, I'm like, what am I doing?
Excellent. As we go back to green here, we've got some chaos already, but cleaner than I expected, Sean.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly. Now, they haven't gotten to the lap cars, but it's also good to know that the first few laps are probably the cleanest. And with so many cars on track and only 30 laps in, now I'm not an expert on dirt, but I'm actually surprised that the sort of slicking up, so to speak, in the middle of the track that we normally see with this kind of racing hasn't really reared its head just yet as we get closer to the halfway point. So what we've learned in testing is that as the track slicks up, in other words, as sort of the dirt continues to get moved away from the laid down surface, the slick tire cars start showing real advantages. So the Audis, the F1 cars, they all start really showing up if we start seeing slick show up. But so far, it's not quite looking like that, which I'm actually surprised by.
I'm impressed with Cantos.
Oh, so John Cantu? John Cantu's your guy.
Yeah, John Cantu, great guy.
I mean, he's really doing good.
Yeah, he had a good week last time.
He's got the car at a good angle going through the corners.
All right, well, let's ride with John, but go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, Lynn, didn't you actually design these liveries for those sponsors? Weren't you the one kind of coming up with the plans for them?
Nope, not at all. It was the sponsors. And Carolyn Rudd, who was Ricky Rudd's sister, had a sports marketing company, and so she did the P&G ones, the Secret, all the Secret, and the
right.
shirt.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and it was so cool because it's the first time I've ever really had what I call professional livery. I've got a little advanced picture and all that, and so no, I never really designed anything, and I always said I'd never have pink on my car. It. Take out that Formula One car. Take it out. That's okay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Commentator's curse. Let's see if he gets through it. Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
No.
Come on, John. He's working on it.
He's having a strong year. He'll be able to rebound from this. He's having a really good season.
He was doing really well,
Yeah.
but now he can't get the thing
Just can't
turned
help
around.
himself. Yeah, it's the four-wheel drive showing up here.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
So another question for Lynn. What's the best and worst car you ever drove throughout your career?
Well, obviously the IndyCar 1994 was the best. It was the first time I had a new car and freshened, everything was fresh and current and all that. And it was the sweetest balance of, it was still the kart series, Turbo 4, Lola chassis. It was always the best. The worst was, oh dear.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear. With my Kelly car in 81, it was a Mercury Capri that was really awful. And I remember I remember showing up at an appearance at Sacramento at the Auto Museum in Sacramento, and the guy was so proud that he currently owns that car, and it was there. And then I was like, oh, I hope it's better now than it was when I ran it.
Just burst his bubble.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that, but it was, yeah.
By the way, not to go too full circle and promote our podcast, but you mentioned the Rudd PR agency that helped design that livery. One of her signature PR writers was Deb Williams, who will have a podcast coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, and I know Deb. Deb's awesome.
Yeah, she's got a really cool story, and I think our fans will really dig her perspective of the deal, because obviously.
Yeah, and she has. I mean, she's been there through it all.
Yeah.
Done a lot for women in the industry, especially on the journalism side.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a question. Speaking of female drivers, question for Lynn: any up and coming female drivers that you're excited about?
Oh yeah. And actually a lot. I mean, let me remember. So there's Courtney Crone, there's Hannah Grissom, there's Sabra Cook. Those three come right to the top of my mind, but there's others. So I'm very happy that there are a number of really, really good up and coming talented.
Yeah.
And obviously the Women's Sports Foundation is something that is very, very close to you. Is there, here in December and Christmas, is there a way for people to get involved or donate or contribute in any way?
Yeah, in fact, they're on a campaign right now to do as many not-for-profits are. But if you just go to the Women's Sports Foundation.org, they have a very good campaign. You could either donate to the overall or donate to the Project Podium grant, which is for women in racing. But if you go to their website, they have a donate here, and you could become a member or just donate, and you'll get acknowledged for that donation.
Perfect, and that's womenandsportsfoundation.org.
Women's, it's WME sportsfoundation.org. Yeah.
Copy. All right, well, awesome. Well, we'll tweet out a link to that as well. Meanwhile, while we were talking about that, Tommy Milner was backwards. So maybe not the ideal. Where is Tommy? He's not even in our top 25, is he?
And he is 25th, it looks like. 7 laps down to the overall.
Should we get him on?
I think we should get a little Tommy Milner love in here.
He's getting up.
Is he in? Hey, Tommy, can you hear us?
Oh, I can hear you.
All right. So it looked like you were backwards for a little bit. How's this?
Not good. It's been better. I can say that. I've used both of my fast repairs.
Okay, so what you have is what you have now. If you wreck out, that's it.
I'm guessing that's the case, because if you have one little moment, it turns into 4 or 5 bigger moments afterwards. So, both times I've had to use it, it's been for pretty bad damage. The other problem is every time I'm crashing, the crashes are so big that it's basically breaking my wheel. I have to turn my wheel off and back on again. So it's going well.
All right, real life problem, just like you have with the Corvette, right?
Yeah, right. No,
not this year.
No, never. The Corvette is perfect, sir. All right. Well, you had, for the first couple of times you've done these races with us, you were batting 1,000 for us for the first couple of rounds, and you're upside down.
Yeah. Same guy 3 times in a row.
Oh.
Man.
Well, we can't help you here.
Now, when you say same guy, you mean the same guy's taking you out 3 times in a row?
Yep.
Oh. Do we need to call Snipe on him? Because we can say Snipe, and everybody that's listening will go after whoever this is.
Yeah, hang on, I have to figure out the number, but it's a black and blue and red Audi.
Or
38 maybe. I'm just going to say 38, and then if it's wrong, it's wrong, and somebody else is going to have a bad day.
It wasn't a Stroh's light car, was it? Was it a Stroh's light car?
38?
Oh, it's a 38. Oh, he's also in the Lin St. James Tribute AMC car. Michael Rennick.
Oh, there it is. That's the Nürburgring car.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this because he put obviously a lot of work into it, and then we're going to call a snipe on him on Tommy's behalf.
I love the Continental. Michael Rennick's a great guy from the Atlanta area, works for Delta. We're big fans. But Tommy Milner is my boy, and so everybody take out the 38 car.
And I'm sorry, Lynn, because I know you're going to hate to see this car get wrecked.
We're calling
wow.
Because
you have to take out the 38
Why
car.
don't you can't you just park them, black flag them, and park them?
No,
What's the fun in that?
Well, yeah, that's not. It's so much fun to just see him get completely. It's called sniping. It gives our driver something to do.
Yeah. Now, Michael Rennick's probably going to not leave pit lane after that.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He's just gonna sit.
Is he in pit lane right now?
Yeah.
He was in pit lane, yes.
All right, I'm gonna find him.
All right, we'll let you go, Tommy.
Yeah.
Are you done, by the way? Or are you out?
No, I'm gonna run this thing until it blows up.
Good.
That's my guy.
Okay, so
That's
Michael
my
Rennick,
guy.
he's currently P30. He's in 38th, but Michael Rennick, the snipe is out. Lynn, I know you love this livery, and I'm sorry.
Oh, he's on track, everybody.
He's on track, number 38. Let's see if he gets
He's
sniped.
on the back straightaway. He's all by himself.
Everybody knows to take him out.
Everybody.
It's
that's
up,
listening.
and it's done.
Oh!
And it's done. Is it? Nope. And we,
It will be.
and by the way, if we were going to go yellow again, we'd have to do it by lap 60, so that time is coming up.
Yeah, so I.
Oh, and that's it. Was that a snipe
Yeah.
right there? Who was in that Black
was the snipe.
Legends?
That was the snipe.
I think we
yeah.
got to go yellow. We got to check on Michael.
Yeah, we got to check on Michael. He's probably not safe.
Oh, careful. Do you get a point?
Careful.
Yeah, so our best snipe, he will advance to our world final in a couple of weeks, along with the race.
Take him out. You get a bonus for that.
Yes, there is an arbitrary bonus to that. Let's see if we can.
Yeah.
It was a Black Legends car. It looked like.
Yeah, and I think that Black Legends car
Gabriel
actually slowed down
Messina
and waited on
D'Souza.
him. Yeah, he's sitting waiting. He actually slows down.
Yeah, there he is on the left side of the screen, Gabriel.
Yeah.
And
From
watch
Brazil.
him just turn. Just.
Wow.
Perfect editing. Like the perfect
Awesome.
cut to of the hands. Oh man.
Yeah, that was
All right,
classic.
yeah.
Classic.
So Gabriel Messina is our Best Snipe Award winner, most likely. There's still
Yes.
a few laps to go.
And also a huge fan of Tommy Milner apparently.
Yeah.
Because it really helped him out there.
Ooh,
So-
yeah, that was so good.
All right, well done.
Are we yellow now?
We are yellow now.
Okay.
Quite a stack up in pit lane. Let's see if we can. We won't have a ton of time to do wave arounds here, but let's see what we've got.
So we say we'll do
What's
the
going on
top
with
10
Tommy
if
here?
We have time.
Is Tommy done? Is that the deal?
I think he tried to back in to get to Rennick.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, let's wait till the cars.
FYI, Tommy Milner's dad
Yeah.
was my crew chief back in the day. He was in the car that I flipped upside down in the rental car.
Oh,
It all comes around.
I love our
Is Tommy
show.
still on? No, he's out.
No, but I can bring him back if you want.
Oh, that's okay. No. But
Well, you might just to let him know that happened, and he could ask his dad about it.
that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's see.
How much time do we have on the wave rounds?
Well, we've got 14 laps. We'll let Tyler jump in. So basically, let's set like a number.
Top 10?
Yeah. Do you want to? So
Top 10 should work. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through the top 10 and give wave rounds to those who need it. Jacob Campbell is 1 lap down, and Jacob was really fast last night, and he is not in any sort of themed car because of the restrictions. So Jacob's not getting one. He's not getting a wave round. That's the deal.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's move on to Jonathan Kraus in P4 again.
Oh man, wish I could help you.
Yeah, can't help. Nothing fancy
Moving
here.
Right along.
Nope.
Yep.
Next guy,
Zach Lewis.
Zach
I
Lewis,
believe,
but
who
he's
gets
going down.
nothing.
He's.
Gets
I think he
nothing.
might be stuck.
Yeah.
We've got the. What are we looking at here? Is that an AlphaTauri?
I think it's a McLaren.
There's a
with
Peugeot front end. I don't know what's going on.
No, nothing.
That's
Adding
not
up.
for us though.
Yeah.
It's a Peugeot livery. I think.
Yeah, but that does
Yeah.
nothing for us. So
Nothing.
no.
Yeah.
All right. Brett Puncari. No. Zach
Nothing.
Lewis.
Wow. Wow.
Man, it's all F1 cars.
Yeah.
So no.
Brutal.
There we go. Noah Wheeler
Absolutely
in
Noah
the
Wheeler's
Honda.
getting a
He's
wave
getting a
around.
wave around. Noah Wheeler 19. Noah Wheeler
Poor
19
Honda.
gets a wave around.
Cord is all busted.
All right, how about Daniel Vaught? No. Apparently,
No,
the key to winning today is not to have any sort of theme livery. How about Matthew Struckman? Daniel Bow doesn't know. Matthew
Yes,
Struckman's getting a wave
definitely
around.
Struckman's getting a wave around.
So
He
Matthew
understands
Struckman in the
branding.
28. Matthew Struckman in the 28.
Yep.
And I think that's our top 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And Connor Kennard in the ZRX Valvoline car. He's absolutely getting a wave
Definitely.
around. Where's John Cantu? Let's just give.
looking. He's.
Let's just give him a wave around anyway.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, because we love
I was going to ask.
Yeah, John. Wait, so you specifically wanted this, Lynn?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna ask.
John Cantu
Come
in the 76 gets a wave around because we said so.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Lin St. James said so.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, so we'll probably go green in a lap or two here once the lights go off, and then it'll be a 10-lap shootout. I don't know what we're at with resets. We don't really have a way to indicate that, so I don't know who's on their last leg, so to speak. But it should be a chaotic last few laps. Apparently, Audis are not doing well. The best non-F1 car is P5. I believe that's Jonathan Kraus, and I think he's in a dirt street stock. Yep. So the dirt street stocks are looking really strong.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
But again,
Yeah.
Makes some sense, yeah.
Yeah, but initially not so much, but now maybe.
yeah. Well, they're very durable.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
built
I
to
know.
the highest standards. Just
Well,
like
and
the
you said
McLaren
the
F1
track's,
car.
and the track's slick now.
Yeah, exactly. So, or more slick. I'm actually surprised that if you look at it, so you can see in the middle there's that sheen in the middle of the track. So this is where the slick tire cars will start showing advantages. The other thing that'll work in the F1 favor is the field is simply thinned out. So there will be just less cars that can hit them. But there's still a good 8 laps to go.
This is like watching the SRX races.
Kinda.
Yeah, but with way more
We are
famous
going
people.
green.
Are we going green? Next lap?
Next time by.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Now-
so. Either next time or 2 more.
Are we going to see you in
Okay.
SRX, Lynn?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. We'll leave it at that.
It's like, oop.
Nope.
All right, getting ready for this. We got about a 8-lap shootout here.
And our
It all
top
comes down to
F1,
it.
Jonathan Kraus, P5. He is our top non-F1 car. So F1 cars are looking strong.
John Cantu just getting that wave around, almost hit the pace truck.
All right.
That was John's second win.
How come the one that was...
I was
thought-
generous.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, no, I thought this one that was sniped or whatever you call it, he's not still out there, is he?
Yeah, he's
He's way back, though.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's ruined.
So the best sniper, he gets an advancement to a later race, but it doesn't affect any of today's outcome.
I got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Michael Rennick isn't even in the top 25 right now,
Yeah.
so we took care of that problem for Tommy Milner.
All right. So now we are green. There's going to be, looks like 7 laps to go. It's going to be Davis Trask, Brett Pancari on the lead lap, Jacob Campbell P3. Once they catch to the back of the field here, this is where it'll start to get interesting because I imagine they're either out of resets or maybe have one left. And with only a few laps to go, it's going to be super critical.
So we got a pit lane note from Michael Rennick's crew chief. He says the track was actually getting really good for slick tires in that last pit.
Okay.
So these Formula One cars might come to life here.
And we'll see. There's going to be about 4 laps to go here as they catch the back of the field. Let's see how it's looking. Davis Trask is looking very strong over Brett Pancari.
Yeah, he's just out on his own there.
Like a Mercedes
Davis
F1
Trask,
car.
Series regular. We see his name quite a bit in the top 10, so not surprising to see that he's leading now with 3 to go.
All right, the laps are counting down, but there's, oh, there we go. So let's follow Davis to the end here. Brett Pancari is way down almost a lap. So Davis basically just has to manage his way through here. Obviously, it doesn't take much. You've got a huge pack of people right in front of him. Yep, there we go. All right, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, good battles taking place all around the track, but Davis Trask with a lap on the field, surely showing a little bit of a flex of the muscle.
Yeah. And I mean,
So do
go
the same
ahead.
people run the same cars every week?
No,
our rules change every week, so the cars will be different. Oh, we got a flip down the back straightaway there.
So it might be an F1 car this week. Actually, funny enough, a lot of the same cars will be in existence next week. We will be taking to the dirt road course of Crandon.
Which includes
we are on the
jumps.
last lap here. Here we go. Final lap for Davis Trask.
Coming to the checker.
Oh, we have an Audi going backwards.
Oh,
is that John?
stuck on the fence. Wow.
That just kind of went off on his own.
Yeah, one car was stuck on the fence hanging there.
And looks like Davis is going to do it. Davis Trask is our winner. It turns out F1 was the right call.
Wow, I did not expect that, Sean.
Yeah.
Campbell came in second, and he was up front in the beginning, and then way back, and then back up.
That's why we run the races. And
That's why we do this.
Where's your guy John Cantu? P14. Oh. And
top 15 in the points.
And now this is in celebration. I think
he just took off. He just flew.
I think this might be post race.
These are post race shenanigans.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. Lynn's like, I need a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
That was phenomenal.
That doesn't happen in real time, you know. God.
So pit lane report here. We have Justin Parcher's crew chief reports that he blew a motor, and it said it'd be a 31-minute repair.
Oh.
His crew is pretty awesome, but 31 minutes was enough to take him out of the race.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. If we have any last questions for Lin St. James as she joins us here for Thursday Night Blunder, please feel free to ask before she gets going. We appreciate you guys being so open and communicative in the chat room.
That looks like a graveyard all of a sudden.
That's what we do.
Race car graveyard.
So there was a question, Lynn. It was, what's your favorite beer?
Favorite beer. Is it Modella?
Okay, I like Modella.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. What are your thoughts about the Formula W series? Is it the right direction to get a woman into Formula One?
I'm a fan of the W series, but not for that reason. It's giving a lot of women, or a number of women anyway, 20 women, a chance to be in a competitive race car around the world, to be able for people to see them and for them to compete at a high level. But I don't see that necessarily having a strong impact on getting a woman into Formula One.
Okay. What is the favorite paint scheme that you drove in your career?
Oh, wow. Well, it has to be the 92, my rookie Indy year. Not the one I actually raced, but the one that's on my wall that I completed rookie orientation. It was the JCPenney, the Spirit of the American Woman, and the red, white, and black, but it got too busy afterward and other things had to be added because we needed the money. But rookie orientation, completing rookie orientation, my first qualifying run at 92 Indy. And now that car's on my wall.
Yeah.
In the living room.
Very, very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Well, a lot of people are very grateful for you being here in the chat room. A lot of just compliments and comments that you joined us. So they're very appreciative, and so are we of you coming on with us.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm a fan of you guys, so it was fun to be back doing something different again.
That's
absolutely
what we do. Awesome. Let's hey Marco, let's see if we can pull Tommy in. Let's see if he might have already left in anger. But otherwise, thank you very much, Lynn. This was awesome. Is Tommy around?
I'm here.
There he is. All right.
I love this kid.
How was it?
Disaster,
Yeah.
but fun. Exciting, but frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 2 or 3 beers, so it's not too bad.
Good.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
while we've got Lin St. James here,
Yeah.
did you know who one of her early crew chiefs was?
I don't know.
Who was your dad?
Well, I knew that there was some connection there. I didn't know exactly what the connection was. But I know
when he was at Summit Point and Bill Scott and he were they were on, they ran my car at the Kelly American Challenge Series. So you need to ask him about the ride when I took the crew home from dinner one night at Lime Rock. They started taking my car apart. It was like a Ford Escort, and they started literally disassembling it inside. And I got mad, and I made a corner that I didn't quite take a corner of the way as well as I was intended to, and we ended upside down in a gully.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible! I will definitely ask him about that.
Ask your dad about it. It was an interesting weekend from that point on.
I can imagine. The one story that my mom, of all people, she watches me race a lot, but one of her fondest memories of racing is she was at the Indy 500 that you were a part of, and hearing for the first time, "Lady and Gentlemen," she still tells that story all the time. So
cool.
you've made a big impact on her racing memories as well.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Very, very
I remember them asking me what I wanted them to say, because Mary Holman, and I said, well, I really don't care what they say because I'm going anyway. And then, but I have to admit, when I heard that, it was, that was a game changer. So that was cool.
Very cool.
Awesome. Now, Tommy, before we let you go and then we say goodnight to Lynn, I just want to get your take on how did you feel the response to the snipe call on your behalf went? Do you feel like the fans answered the call?
Well, it sounds like the guy that was getting sniped was already in the pit lane and already damaged. So,
yeah.
I guess I should have picked a better somebody else to snipe, basically. But I've taken his name and his number down, and I'll probably be back next week.
Good.
And I'll get him back.
It ain't over till it's over.
That's right. That's right. Excellent. Well, Tommy, we appreciate you coming out and racing with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, dude.
Bye.
All right. Well, I think on that note, Lynn, any final thoughts?
No, it was a lot cooler than I thought it would be. I mean, I expected more crashes. So, I mean, when I watched a live dirt race at Eldora, it was really hard because those cars were rolling really fast, but they were like stuck together, going around, where everybody was kind of spread out because you had such a variety of cars. But it was fun. Thank you for having me doing it.
Awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming on. And once again, any other big websites you want to push? Any other promos?
Well, just go to the LinStJames.com. I mean, I've got, stuff that I'm doing. People say, what are you doing now? Well, I don't like to say go to my website, but,
Sure.
you can. And I try to keep it up to date about what I'm doing. And, I'm working on a lot of initiatives for women in racing. And now under the ACUS, I'm now a part of that. And I represent the United States and North America on the Women in Motorsports Commission, the FIA Commission. And so I'm back in the game and more current, and I'm enjoying it. So, that's what I'm doing, and people can go to my website and learn more about it.
Cool. All right. Well, I think on that note, we'll take a little bit of a break. There's some more racing coming up. For those of you who know the drill, you know the drill already. But for those who don't, we are going to move away from the broadcast as you're seeing it now. Marco, who's running our cameras, is going to take the night off since he's in Italy at like 3 a.m. And Ryan and I will still be around. We might have another guest who might pop in for a couple minutes, and we'll be watching some our race 2 and race 3 for the night on a more amateur level. If you're watching this on the Facebook Continental Tire feed, that's going to go away, just in case we say things we shouldn't say. And other than that, thank you again, Lynn, and we'll be right back.
Cool. Okay. Bye-bye.
So about that e-racing.
Now, no doubt since we launched e-racing 1 year ago, the platform has gained tremendous momentum in recent weeks. But we're not just ones to just leave it there.
So just to recap, e-racing, launched in 2019, has become the most realistic simulator in the business. Sure, other simulations might boast about their physics model or their wide range of cars, but e-racing is the only simulation that contains features like riding the tow truck all the way back, having to face your crew when you arrive, concerned texts from your family or friends after you crash, not being allowed to race until the money clears, having to walk the paddock when you're out of money, and of course, making sure you have the perfect excuse to quit.
For some reason in the last couple of weeks, e-racing has enjoyed explosive growth, and especially from professional racers who all of a sudden started signing up. So with that in mind, we have custom tailored our next round of updates exclusively for pro racers who now have a lot of time on their hands.
That's why we welcome you to e-racing Update 2.0. As a driver myself, I know just how hard it can be to make the transition into virtual racing. The first thing you'll notice is, man, some of these virtual racers are fast. Like crazy fast, right? And if there's one thing I know about sports car racing, it's that if you're not fast enough, that's just not fair. And that's why e-racing is the first to introduce virtual driver ratings. That's right. Now, in order to get your e-racing license, you'll have to send in your application to the FEA, which is a dedicated software group in Europe who pays no attention to American sim racing whatsoever, but it gives us a good wall to hide behind when our clients are upset.
Now, driver ratings may sound like something that could make virtual racing more complicated, but at E-Racing, we tried to make a driver rating system that was very clear and very easy to understand, because we agree it is not fair that pros have to race against amateurs that are much faster than them.
First, there's the new E-Racing color system. It's very simple to understand. We assign a color that's based on your experience and your talent. Top sim racers will be rated as barn red. Good drivers will be rated as blood red. Decent drivers will be rated as cardinal red. And those needing more experience, crimson.
Now, if this sounds confusing, don't worry. We've put a lot of thought into making this easy. Top drivers are super clear. If you drive for a top sim racing team, if you still live with your parents, if you've never talked to a girl, and if you're Max Verstappen, you are barn red. If you're over 22, however, you're automatically downgraded to blood red. Now let's say you're okay, but you have a real job. Then chances are you'll be rated as cardinal. Cardinal rated drivers have a job, have some sense of social life, understand that this is supposed to be fun, and likely never speak on the e-racing radio. And finally, there's crimson. To become crimson, it's very simple. Just get yelled at by everyone else who doesn't understand that it's supposed to be fun, and that also your sense of self-worth isn't based on driving a racing game.
Oh, you f***ing donkey. If you just drove back online like that, you'd be dead, wouldn't you? And the world would be a better place.
Also, if you're Ray Alfala, you're just not invited.
Wait, what?
Now, when it comes to pro drivers trying to make the transition to virtual racing, everyone at E-Racing knows that driving is only a part of it. Our first feature is E-Racing's new walking interview. Are you so mad after an E-race that you can't possibly be bothered to stop, actually speak to a reporter, and represent your sponsors properly? No problem. With E-Racing's Angry Interview feature, you can just keep walking while the media burdens you with trying to do their job.
Guys, I guess they're too mad to talk. Back to you up in the booth.
Everyone at E-Racing understands the value of social media, so that's why in our new update, we've added several new features that show you're putting in the work. Now, you're not really a pro racer unless you take 15 shots of yourself at your home gym, and that's why with E-Racing, we've built the same feature right into the simulation. With our InstaGym app, your avatar never stops showing the world how you're totally race ready. Still referring to your race cars in office? We got you covered. As soon as you log in, we'll automatically upload photos of your sim rig so that everyone sees your new office. Now, if you want to look like you have a personality on our e-racing platform, but you're not sure how, well, we have a new feature. It's called ePup. With ePup, even if you don't have a personality, our virtual dog will give you something to post about constantly, even if you're really not that interesting. We've even developed this with some of the most benign in the business, like NASCAR winner Alex Bowman.
EPUB? Come on!
Or why not get private coaching from the master himself, Simon Pageant.
Wait. Is that why you wanted us on the video?
Now, our new features don't just stop with driving. E-Racing 2.0 also has brand new PR and broadcast updates as well.
With E-Racing's new trade show feature, for those trying to get into driving, we've added a new plugin that allows you to virtually walk any major trade show just so you can feel like you're in the scene. We'll even tweet for you with such posts as hanging out with my bros at some generic wraps company, or simply making it look like you're a VIP at a party that really anyone can get into.
And don't worry, just like real trade shows, when a new driver shows up in an e-racing trade show, it's still pointless. Finally, it's not modern sim racing unless there's a broadcast component. And with the recent explosion of sim race broadcasts everywhere, e-racing has also got you covered.
Luckily, eStock Car has actually been ahead of the game for years, having been involved with their own league, broadcast, and completely adopting the virtual space. E-Stock Car is way ahead of the game, and if you enjoy e-racing style of stock car racing, you will not be disappointed with their broadcast component. For fans of e-Open Wheel, we're definitely making progress. With plenty of great broadcasts both for European and American open wheel racing, the people in charge are definitely making the right steps to adopt this.
Now for fans of e-sports car, don't worry. Senior management is currently putting together an analysis plan in which they can do a data review and then put together an executive subcommittee who will hopefully analyze and then put together an action strategy. Wholesale approach with a global view, but also one that's rooted in grassroots, which, pending further review, will then decide what the best course of action to present to the leadership team might be. And at
Dude, I still have to work in sports car racing. Now, just like real racing, we've noticed that the current racing shutdown has given many racers a new excuse not to just quit the sport, but also humble complain. With our new e-COVID feature, you can now say you've had a big deal cooking, but the shutdown screwed it all up, whether it was true or not. Implement the use of fansplaining, where you pretend to educate the people in the name of advertising how you're out of work. Or why not utilize our new humble complaint option, where you use the opportunity to complain when it's really just an opportunity to show how successful you are. Tow truck rides, walking the paddock, gym selfies,
broadcasts, middle management, pointless trade shows. Whether you liked our first version or our new updated second version, we have it all.
E-racing, the ultimate in realism.
We're on a road trip. I came down from Kentucky, a place called Breezy Creek. That cornbread and buttermilk was all I had to eat. I have served my country, worked for Uncle Sam, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Oh, give me that cornbread and buttermilk, the country boys delight. I eat it every morning and I eat it every night. Some people like fried chicken, others like the ham, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Yes, cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am.
All right, we are back for the, let's just say we call it the after dark, the after hours?
Sure.
Whatever, it's the shit show, it's the amateur hour of
Here we go.
Dinner with Razors, Thursday Night Blunder. This is when we stop having the professionalism of people like Marco, Tyler doing the admins, or Lin St. James talking for whatever reason.
Calling out NASCAR. That's amazing.
And so now we just watch a laptop computer manually switching between cameras, but the other thing we do is we feature winners. And when it comes to winners, look no further than the sounds of Davis Trask, our race winner. How is it going, Davis?
Doing great.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said, just, coming back down off that adrenaline high. Unfortunately, after my last win, my doctor heard the broadcast, and she's like, "You got to stop drinking the Valvoline." So, as much as I love
come
it,
on.
I can't recommend it. So, I was feeling a little off today. but still able to pull it out. So
you definitely pulled it off, and we honestly weren't sure which way this was going to go. So hold on as I do a little bit of camera work here. But so what was the choice behind the F1 car, and how sketchy was it looking as you got closer?
So I picked the F1 car because it was a new car, a shiny new toy.
Yeah.
And actually back in 2019 when you guys ran the Continental Cup, we ran at Eldora in the Williams F1.
We did.
Right. And I won that race. So I'm like, man, I got to stick with my roots, go with the F1.
Perfect.
It was looking a little hairy in practice when every little tiny touch would give me a meatball.
Okay.
But in the race, for all those listening in the second race here, the strategy is the meatball is not applied till post-race. So you can run most of the race on that meatball and then get your fast repair at the last couple laps, and you'll be good to go. So
Interesting.
that is the winning strategy for the F1
That
car,
is
as long as you can
strategery
keep
if I've ever heard of it.
As long as you keep it in a straight line.
Now on that level, so what were you down? Because we can't tell who's got how many resets. How down to the wire were you in terms of damage?
I was full opposite lock going down the straight.
Okay.
And then full lock going in the corners the other way.
And were you out of resets?
I only used one fast repair during that last caution.
Oh, okay. So we could have gone with one, and it would have been closer.
Yes.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure. Like I said, one touch and you're meatballed. So I was afraid that was going to happen on the last lap. So I didn't want to use a fast repair if I didn't absolutely have to. So.
Very good. All right. So any big post-win comments here?
Nope. That's about it. Just don't drink Valvoline. Just put it in your car and keep those Continentals rolling on down the road.
Okay. All right. Or drink Valvoline if you want.
Yeah. I didn't say it.
Davis Trask, your Thursday Night Blunder winner. Thanks for coming out with us, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's always a blast.
Cool,
always look forward to Thursday.
Thank you very much. All right, we will. Let's see if I can figure out how to move him back to the lobby without deleting him entirely. I think I did it. Yep, he's out, and he's not banned.
Nice. Yeah,
all right.
He's not banned for life.
It's progress. I haven't put a mark on his account in Zoom. Let's see. Who else? Anybody else? We got John Cantu is in the. You want to get John Cantu on?
Yeah, he deserves a little time.
Lin St. James loved his shit.
Yeah, all about that shit.
Give him a minute. Hopefully, he's smart enough to know that he's live when he gets on here.
Yeah.
Or he's not.
He's like, let me tell you my politics.
All right. So we still have, by the way, while we're watching, there is 4 minutes left in practice before we get into qualifying. Stephen Moore, who ran our practice races last night as well, was in the first race. He's in that McLaren F1. He's been super, super fast. So it's only a matter of time before he finally gets a win. He did not win last night. He obviously didn't win the earlier race as well. So it's going to happen for him, I'm sure. But speaking of people that are revered, hey, John Cantu, can you hear us?
Yep, hear you loud and clear.
There we go. So, are you okay, so it looks like he's busy. But it appears as though Lin St. James is a fan.
Yeah, no, I was really happy to see exactly what car I was going for. That was really awesome.
This
Not
is
exact, but my painting skills was kind of like my driving skills. Look, hold on.
I can watch this all day.
Can you speak up?
I gotta get closer to the computer to speak up. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's pretty good right there. That level's good.
I don't know. I need to get a microphone and set it over here. Just
No, you don't.
Why?
It's
Why?
perfect.
This is great. This is great.
All right.
Well, gotta thank Dinner with Racers.
Okay.
Both of you guys, you're looking handsome, right?
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
I think we're both pretty helpful out.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. We'll let you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Great
very much,
interview.
John.
Great interview.
Let me figure out how to remove
You can ban me. You know
No, I don't want to ban you.
No,
I
we
just
don't.
don't.
We're never gonna ban you.
There we go.
Stop it.
All right, what's going on over there, Ryan?
Well, okay, so I am in Roanoke, Virginia, and we ordered a bunch of Indian food. And I'm really excited about this because for the last like 3 weeks since our trip ended, the season ended, and I've had time at home, I haven't had a carb. It's been amazing.
Okay.
And now my, did you make that? I
For
thought you were bringing me
me?
a plate. I was like, holy shit.
No.
You're gonna sit here while I do this?
Yeah.
So you might recognize
It's
this guy.
dinner
on my shoulder
time, so we're gonna have dinner.
with racers.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Troy McClure.
Is that Troy McClure?
No.
There you go. Yeah, it's working. You're right on
Guys, what's
YouTube
up?
there.
I'm on the
Yeah.
YouTubes. Can we give a shout out to Tay Whiteside?
Of course we can give it. Yeah, I haven't even got to explain where I am yet.
Tay's here.
What's happening, everybody?
This is Tay Whiteside. He is a phenomenal fabricator
thank
and
you.
also
You don't know
former.
that, but thanks.
Well, I saw your work today. I saw a 17-foot whirling dervish thing. So, yeah.
Metal problems. What's
Tay
going on?
and his family, they have the Black Dog salvage business, which is like architectural salvage, and they had a TV show on the DIY network called
Salvage Dogs.
Salvage Dogs. That's right. And you guys did like 143 episodes.
Yes.
That's right.
And I hadn't seen it before. So today I posted pictures that we were here in Roanoke, and people were like, "I love that show!"
No kidding.
So that was really,
Oh,
really
that's
cool. Molly May has already been on the show today. I had her on earlier.
How's my car doing?
And your car, I don't know how it did. Hey, look, it's Dom DeLuise.
Hey!
Yeah. Hi, NASCAR Jesus.
Hello.
Yeah, is the floor lava here, Steve?
The floor is lava, Steve. That's why we don't have feet.
Yeah, right. So you guys have got 2 massive plates of Indian food in front of me.
That's right. We're gonna eat and
And
watch you do
I
this.
haven't had any of it yet.
Yeah. Hi, Sean. Big fan. Miss your laugh. Your
Hi.
He says hi, and he said,
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. For him, that's like saying I love you too.
That's a lot.
And I'll take that.
Agree?
I like
cheers. Check in on my car.
He goes, I like what?
Yeah, of course he does. Did someone really make a rut?
Yes,
painting?
yes. We'll see if
Can
Sean
I give
can
them a
find
shout
it.
out?
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know if they're. We don't know if they're in this. I don't remember who it was. You don't remember the name.
It was a super stock.
Okay.
Or sorry, street stock.
That kind of narrows it, but not really.
Yeah, and it was yellow. So if there's a yellow street stock, it was a Continental mostly.
Yellow. It
street stock.
was a yellow street stock, huh?
Did you
All
see
right.
that dirt?
Session's over, by the way.
Into that other
If anybody in the chat room knows who has the Rutledge street stock, let me know.
Yeah.
And you have the limes. Do you even remember that?
Was that from our very first one?
Yeah, yeah.
We kept looking for Tanner to have the limes.
Yeah. What are we drinking? Question from a fan.
Tay went and stole bourbon from his dad's office.
Yeah, so we're in this
Some
house that's like an
Defiance
Italian
bourbon.
stone refurbed house that they did. It's directly next door to Black Dog Salvage.
Right.
And there's probably a bunch of your dad's booze and stuff over there, right?
Yeah, I don't work here anymore, but I still have the master key. So
Nice,
I'm gonna
nice.
some,
Yeah.
some bourbon.
So,
Mike, I'm sure Mike is watching. He's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Mike, appreciate you.
I'm drinking a local.
is that straight bourbon?
No.
No.
Have we seen anything I've done? Straight, what am I, a man? That's what you drink. Straight bourbon. I've got to go. My food's getting
Hey,
cold.
go eat. Go eat. Go eat. I'll find that car.
Thank you.
He might not. Well, I'm looking for it. I don't think he's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're at about half capacity from the first race.
Sure,
which is
sure.
pretty normal.
Like I said, if anybody in the chat room knew who had the, I'm going to take a picture of this and tweet it because it's hilarious what I'm looking at. Like two people eating right in front of me. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. So, let's see here.
Yeah, let's see. So, chat room. Sorry, I've not been looking at the chat.
Yeah.
I don't have.
No, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I'm
A lot
looking.
of questions about Rut and his hair and what he's drinking. And Aspen Belvin says he'll make a car for Rut. And that's cool, but there was a Cruise in the Continental U.S.
Yeah, there was. I don't think
car.
he's here. He was in the street stock, but I'm pretty sure he's not here. Justin Mann, I remember was running something fun. I wanted you to see it. I honestly don't remember what it was, but I remember it was like, oh, we got to see this. Justin Mann didn't get a whole lot of love. Let's go full screen so we can take a look here. Let's turn up the volume. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of buttons I got to hit. Let's see. So let's look at...
Damn right.
Oh, it's a Jack Hewitt livery. That's what it is.
Already.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
No one even knows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the front here, oh, he's coming in and out. Let's see. I think he might have pulled in because it's qualifying.
Right.
Justin Mann, put your car back on track. Never mind. But anyway, it's a tribute to the infamous interview, which if you're a dirt fan, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you're not, then you don't. Doug Waite with some Lin St. James love, some more Valvolines, Continentals, Hoosier with good with, Polka Dots, and Lin St. James. A lot of Lin St. James love. I like this. We need more of this.
Yeah,
So-
that was awesome. And I think it really resonated with the fans that they got to be a part of that with them.
Yeah. I'm going to text you something.
Okay. What do we got here? What'd you make?
Cheers. I accidentally poured the wrong thing.
Is that chicken?
Yeah.
And
it's
you can't eat chicken.
masala. I just don't. I'm not having.
You don't have to
chicken.
cover it. But thank you.
I didn't know if you were.
So sweet. So sweet.
Let me get you some bread.
I have Indian food now.
Oh, I had
That a
last,
vegan prepared for me.
last
so.
Indian food I had was with you,
Mhm.
and it was not good.
Terrible.
I was very disappointed because
Yeah.
it's such a rare occasion.
Don't sell him out like that.
Oh man, you're the best. Is that stacked in here? Thank you. Yeah.
Here's some garlic naan.
By the way, can I? Oh, here we go. Justin Mann. Check your text, by the way. So yeah, you're damn right. I got time for an interview, which is the opening to our clip. But oh, is he? And Justin's gone. Justin's already dead. There we go.
Okay, he's done.
That's it. I'm proud of Justin here with the
Yeah.
KMD number 63.
Jack Hewitt. Oh, with the what?
KMD on the left side there. He's got KMD 63
What's
on
it
the
say on
left
bottom?
fender.
I don't.
I got time for an
I got
interview.
time for an interview.
Yeah, and then the left side fender, you got red text on black. You might not be able to see it on your deal, but it says
Yeah.
KMD. And we'll just wait for that podcast to explain that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness. Carbs. So
Carbs.
excited. Carbs. We're carbs.
Yeah, I haven't had good Indian in a while.
I know. I'm just gonna. Yeah. I don't even know. Does Roanoke have good Indian food? Yeah. Okay. All right.
We do.
That is very good. No.
All right, Lance.
Well, it's officially dinner with racers.
There you go.
Yeah.
People listen to you.
I haven't even
I came
looked in the chat room.
unprepared.
How are we doing over there?
I haven't looked.
All right.
Oh, qualifying's over.
Uh-huh.
Jacob Campbell is P1. Now, Jacob, if I was an odds maker, I would put not good numbers on that in the sense of Jacob Campbell is very highly likely to win based on his performance last night. It wasn't even close in our practice races last night in terms of outright pace. The only factor would have been resets and getting wrecked out, which I think cost Jacob earlier in the race. But with half the field gone, I think Jacob's chances tonight are pretty strong.
Right.
All right. Let's see. What have we got in the chat? People are talking about Roanoke.
Yeah.
There's some Indian food.
Yeah, a lot of
Indian food in Richmond.
Yeah, a lot of questions. Right.
Which
right.
is not Roanoke.
So you and I had Indian food in Atlanta near my place.
It was.
about-
We're not going to name
and
it, but it was horrible.
No, the dead giveaway should have been the fact that it took like 25 minutes to get a soda.
Yeah. Well, it was at least
Right
it was
away.
busy.
Right, packed.
Right. Or it was literally just us and a girl like
Just
working
us
on
and
a
like
term
one
paper.
lady that couldn't, who couldn't get her check.
Yeah.
Like they would not let her leave. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bummer because as you know, I do like Indian food, and so Indian food isn't something you get solo. That's just. Am I wrong in that thinking? Am I the only one who thinks that? You don't get Indian food on.
No,
your
no,
own.
I get it. I get
no
it.
one just picks up Indian for shits and giggles. So I almost
Takeout
never get
I'll
Indian.
get, but I won't go somewhere.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Takeout I'll get, but I won't go anywhere.
Certain kinds of food I'll gladly go solo, but for some reason Indian doesn't for me, and I don't get a whole lot of Indian. That's what honestly, when it comes to the Magnus days with Lars Geersing, that's what I miss the most, because Lars loves Indian food.
You're doing great. Big fan.
Would you rather us not be here than stay right here?
What have we got? Daniel Parks has the Rutledge car. All right, hold on. Daniel Parks is texting us that he has a Rutledge car.
They can pick that up.
Where about?
I'm going to turn your volume down for a minute, Ryan,
Okay.
to give you some freedom to. And you are going to be muted in 3, 2. All right, we are going to take a look at Daniel Parks' car. Or Daniel, are you not in this race? You're texting me. Am I blind? Oh, there you are. All right, let's see. There he is. Okay, let's take a look at Daniel Parks. All right, Ryan, your volume's coming back up. And your volume is up.
All right. So we got a Continental car. We got Cruising the Continental US on the side. See that, Brett?
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then on the side, I think it's got his face. It's definitely on the back. Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure that's you. It's just poor lighting.
That is you.
Angle.
That is definitely Rutledge. You can see it full screen. There we go.
Hey.
That's amazing.
Yeah, right. And then there's something on the back too.
That's from this week.
Yeah, right.
I appreciate how
quick, right?
timely they're being,
Yeah.
and they know I ain't going back to the middle.
And then, yeah, that's you holding the laptop and then the balls. Those are the bouncy balls.
Oh, come on! y'all have the best fans.
Yes.
There's no other way to come back.
There's not.
That kind of timely.
Right. You heard it. Yeah. Probably heard it. So, yeah.
Thank you. Love you.
Yeah. Love your face.
And we're green. Let's take a look at the lead here. We are green. The race is starting 75 laps. I'm sure we might have a yellow. And we're going to watch Jacob Campbell do what he does. Now, the other person worth watching, Stephen Moore, who's P2, was also running in our prelim races last night. And so it is quite a contrast between Jacob in the black car and Stephen right here going by us, because Stephen has the full lock counter approach, drive it like a dirt car, hit the wall approach, and Jacob.
All the way around.
Yeah, exactly. And Jacob, I say it's with love because he's fast as hell, but Jacob is as boring as it comes to the way he approaches. Like, he does not hang the car out at all. He just rides the bottom and just stays out of trouble. So, like, watch him here. If we go to his onboard, like just
a William Byram
of race car drivers. Yeah. So, like, if we watch, watch Jacob's onboard and notice just how boring his approach is here.
Yeah.
Just staying out of trouble. But I guarantee you this will work. He's just got to make sure he lasts for 75 laps.
Okay.
Anyway.
So it could win, but meh.
Boring.
Yeah.
The problem is I like Jacob, and I really like his dog.
Oh.
Miles.
Is this the dog that
That's
we met
Miles.
last week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miles.
Oh, yeah. He's
So we're not going to call a snipe on the kid, legitimately, because his dog is too cool.
Right.
He's got a lovely family.
So Miles is keeping this guy alive.
Miles is single-handedly. Oh, he might take himself out there. There we go.
Hi, guys. All right. How you doing? Yep. I've got two people staring at me while we do this. I can't hear a word they're saying. As you know, I'm deaf as hell. But also I have these awesome noise-canceling headphones.
Yeah.
Who makes those?
What?
Who makes those?
Bowers and Wilkins.
Tell me about it.
Bowers and Wilkins. Proud partner of Ryan Eversley. And not being able to hear well. No. Man.
All right.
So El Macron has a great hack here. She's realized something pretty quickly.
Jacob's already going in for his reset, by the way.
Interesting.
And, yeah, that's
way,
pretty early. Go ahead.
Best way to do well is to show Sean the pups.
Yeah. I don't think that's a mystery.
No.
Yeah. If you got dog photos, put them in. I don't think that's exclusive to me. I think that works with you too.
Maybe we'll do. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like these two dogs that they have here, Stella and Molly May. I was like right away obsessed.
Yeah. In. Anyway, fuck. I want Indian food now. But yeah, not happening anytime soon.
What are you eating? You got popcorn over there?
I had some chips. No, I didn't stock up. I'm literally out of. I'm eating myself out of home here. My normal trademark of. So they got these. I don't I don't know if this is a West Coast thing only, but they've got these pre-made bags of like portioned out popcorn. So I grabbed one of these mini bags. So I grabbed those mini bags and eat normally for race 2. I ran out and totally forgot until I went to go grab it. And so I ate what was left of some potato chips I had. Those are now gone. I'm not doing well. Neither's Jacob Campbell, apparently.
Yeah, right.
So I think this is already his second reset, especially if he gets hit right here. Maybe not. So Jacob, if he goes into the pits here, he'll be, I think, on his second reset, which only 15 laps or so into this race. That's not boding well. How are we? Yeah.
So,
we're at 9 laps in, and Jacob may have to pit. Go ahead.
Well, question from the chat room is, what are your thoughts on cats?
Uh-huh. What are your thoughts on cat racing?
I mean, I don't eat them all the time, but...
Yep. Oh, there's a song. Let's see if I can get my phone going.
What?
There's an Australian guy. There's a new YouTube guy that I love who made a song. I don't know if the lack of visuals will make it work, but let's see if I can find his song. He's got a great song that describes the difference between cats and dogs.
Ah, nice.
Let's see.
Let's see. We have a couple people that said bring out Molly. Molly came by earlier. We got her some airtime. So she's on break. She's had a big day.
All right.
There's a question if they can snipe Lance yet.
Now, sniping Lance is always welcome, first of all. But whether or not it's going to get you the best snipe award, that part I can't speak to because right now there's nothing that is that snipe worthy. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get this. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh.
I found. Oh no! I've already lost it. I had to.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it! Why do I live? Oh. Gosh darn it.
Now fans watch me eat Indian food. I'm comfortably close.
And I have like nothing to say. I'm trying to figure out what we've got to look at here. So who's leading? This is Christian Abbott. He's been kind of quiet all weekend, but he is in one of those Mercedes F1 cars. And now again, these Mercedes F1 cars, they don't allow paint jobs on them.
Right.
Because of some contracts that they have with iRacing. So they will not be a good car to have if you get a couple laps down and need a wave by, which Christian Abbott might right now because he is now well down. And Jacob Campbell now up to P2 without a front wing.
Yeah, and it looked like the orange and white McLaren was missing the rear wing.
Interesting. Still plenty of time to go here. A 75-lap race. We're only about 15 laps in. All right, so there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Tom Carty.
Okay.
Dog versus cat, cat versus dog. Who will win and who will lose? Always up for a jog. Dog loves to get a pat. Dog ignores me all day and then fights his friends outside my bedroom window. Cat helps me get a girlfriend. Dog boil until the end. Dog waits for you to die so I can sit on your chest and eat your face. It's a cat. Dog versus cat, cat versus dog. Cat. Dog. I got you a dead bird. Oh, thanks so much. Oh, and taste your face. What'd you say? Yeah.
That's it. That's Tom Carty. Yeah. Tom Carty has a lovely bunch of 1 minute or less songs that are probably very TikTok appropriate. They're also not very web stream appropriate when you're sponsored by a fairly non-aggressive tire company. That's all.
What do you mean?
I don't know, nothing. Anyway, so you guys are in Roanoke.
We're in Roanoke.
How much longer?
Tomorrow's our last day. We got a little more Blue Ridge Parkway to drive. We've got some B-roll to shoot. Got some, basically we want to go find a cool overlook and kind of have one last look at everything before we head home. But we're on day 4 of 5, and it's been honestly a lot of fun. We've seen some really cool stuff.
Cool.
And we got Indian food on day 3. And you know what? I'm just going to say it because this is hilarious to me. I just got my HPD contract for 2021 emailed to me.
Ah, there you go.
It just came in right now.
Happening live.
So
I'd say you should sign it live, but you should read it.
I need it. That's going to take a minute.
Yep. So that'll have to happen later.
But I figured the fans would appreciate the reality of it.
Yep. That's here on what is it? December 10th.
Is that
It's December 10th. It's December 10th. You're getting your 2022 contract.
Yep.
Cool.
So, we're in Roanoke. Like I said, we're at the Black Dog Salvage house, basically. They use it for an Airbnb. This place is amazing. Like, everything in here is awesome. But you don't know or you haven't been following, Rutledge and I are on a road trip with Continental Tire. Basically, we have a Honda Ridgeline, HPD Ridgeline. He's got his Toyota Tundra since he's a Toyota brand rep. And we've been just kind of seeing some sights. And we did this last year as a chance to get out on the road during COVID and kind of, fill in some days that Continental had hired us to do and find a safe way to do it. We had so much fun, we decided to try to do it again this year. So we've seen some cool, unique sites. We stayed in a storage container Airbnb, which I think you would have really dug, because on the outside looking in, you're like, what is this? But on the inside, it was completely normal. I mean, you would have thought, if you woke up there one morning not knowing where you were, you wouldn't think you were in a storage container.
Cool. All right, we are watching Jacob Campbell move his way back. He's now back on the lead lap, chasing out Christian Abbott. Like I said, Jacob, we've got the cameras on him because in our prelim racing, he was absolutely the fastest guy out there. So watching him make his way back up to the field without a front wing should be pretty epic to watch, especially because I don't know. I mean, I'm not a expert on aero or dirt racing, but I'm not sure how much a front wing really matters around here, especially when with these cars getting loose isn't always the best way around. So we'll see. I imagine in these cars, the front wing may actually just be a good thing that you can knock off to keep you from knocking suspension pieces off.
Yeah, it's like a little bumper.
Yeah. So he's just basically exposed at this point. How many laps in are we?
I'm looking at the YouTube feed, so we'll go to Zoom here. Gotta be halfway.
29 laps. We're almost halfway.
Okay.
We're 30 laps in. So we'll see how this boils out. Maybe we'll do some yellow flagging if we think it's safe. Obviously, integrity first. How about Lin St. James talking about NASCAR yellows?
Right away. No holding back either.
Big fan.
Yeah, we've got a very loyal fan base, but I think it's also fair to say we have a very loyal guest base.
Yes,
they've been super cool. Like Jeff Brown obviously gave us a lot of time last week and was very, open and honest. And then he sat in the chat room for like an hour.
Yeah,
and
just having fun.
Yeah, I don't know if the fans really understand that Sean and I are like blown away by that.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Jeff then gets in the chat room.
Yeah, like Lin St. James or Paul Fenner. So I was explaining to somebody a little while ago that I put Lin St. James in terms of her willingness to work with us in the same categories like a Paul Fenner or a Mike Hall. I'm not sure that what we do is necessarily her cup of tea.
Or necessary for her
no,
at all.
Absolutely not. But you can
she
tell.
Doesn't need us.
But, I'll use what Mike Hall says as an example. I think Mike Hall has always recognized that what we do is something specific for fans that he hasn't seen elsewhere. So he continues to just go with whatever the nonsense is we ask him to do. And Lin, I would say, it's kind of the same mentality. Same with Paul Fanner. They're not making anything from this, and yet we're helping to promote whatever they want. But I think they're all smart enough to know we're not going to bring in millions of people to whatever it is they're looking to push.
Yeah. But the people that we do have paying attention are so passionate that they do liveries, custom, and not just like, oh, here's a picture. It's like an inside joke or a reference, and that's that. I think like tomorrow, Lin St. James is going to tell somebody that she was on this tonight and had fun.
Yeah,
because the fans actually gave a shit.
Yeah, and somebody made a full-on tribute car, and multiple people. So. And that's why, for those of you driving who are listening to this is why the tribute liveries are always so cool, because somebody like Lin St. James walks away like, oh, shit, when's the last time somebody did something like that?
Right.
So, pretty neat. So, good job, John Cantu.
And then, also, great job on the post-race interview.
Love that, man.
That's pretty much how I sound anytime I have an earplug in. That's how he was talking. Hear a damn thing.
Lap 37. Yeah. Oh, Stephen Moore just went flying by. So here's the other guy that's fun to watch. It's not necessarily the fastest way. In fact, looks like he's down in 9th or 10th right now. But Stephen Moore couldn't have a more opposite approach to his driving than Jacob Campbell. Jacob Campbell, you see, he's got nothing hung out. Stephen Moore seems like he gets in more incidents, but he's having fun doing it. So look at this, just completely. And this is why that doesn't work.
Big hit.
but it's fun.
That's why we're in the races.
Exactly. That's a cool perspective.
Yeah, that's the. Isn't that what happened to Brian Clausen?
Yes, it happened. When with the story he told us.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
so now we need who was it that walked up? Was
Tony
it
Stewart?
Tony Stewart walked up
so
to him?
basically,
Yeah.
Brian Clausen told us a story in our season 1 podcast with him of when he ended up in a fence and was literally caught here just like this, and he'd broken his ribs and he couldn't laugh. And Tony Stewart goes up to make fun of him, and he's like trying not to laugh because he's got a broken rib, and you're just dangling like this. Meanwhile, funny story, he's looking to sign with Chip Ganassi to run in his stock car program. But Chip Ganassi can't land at Eldora because his helicopter is waiting for a medevac to take his this driver up in the fence out, which was him. So that's the Brian Clausen story. What else have we got going on? Christian Abbott, is Jacob Campbell? Now Jacob Campbell is now P2, 5 seconds back. So we'll see if Jacob Campbell can retake the lead as he chases down Christian Abbott. And you just never know. There might be a yellow later on, but let's see how this race unfolds first here on lap number 44.
People are throwing food at me, Sean.
That's on you.
Yeah, I did this. You think you build a friendship based on professionalism. Next thing you know, you got the lava guy throwing. What are you even eating, by the way?
How dare you?
What, is that okra?
I ordered meats on sticks, and you know it.
Nope.
There was some okra in there.
I'm noticing a lot of understeer on these Mercedes. Like when they get to the bottom, it's just like hanging the front end out. Ooh!
Yeah, he took a pretty good hit. So Jacob Campbell was 5 seconds away from the lead, chasing him down, and he may have just hurt his cause. I don't know what his damage situation would be. We'll see how the steering wheel is on the front stretch. Yeah, it looks like he definitely has a little bit of a tweak. So, you know what? I'm worried about his safety.
Yeah, probably got to throw that yellow.
Yeah, we probably should throw a yellow here.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're yellow.
Elle, I love you.
What's that?
Tell Elle.
Elle Macron.
Elle Macron?
Elle Macron.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Tell her I love her.
Sunshine.
While we're yellow, do you think we should bring on the dude with the big head? No. Size-wise, not ego. Yeah. You in?
Yeah, let me just grab my nuts.
You good?
I'm great.
You got it all out?
Where's the microphone?
You're gonna have to use this.
Do I talk loudly?
You
on
just
one
put this
side?
on real quick.
I don't want to put it.
You're gonna
It's
just.
I have to talk. Oh boy. Thanks.
Fine. Yeah. Have fun with that. No, I'm gonna throw food at you.
Man.
So the tables have turned.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rutledge?
How you doing?
Oh, hi, Sean.
How are you?
How are you? Oh, I'm so good, buddy. How are
Lovely.
you doing?
I'm giving some wave arounds to paint jobs that we like Justin Parcher here.
Oh, it's a great one.
So he's going to get a wave around.
Well earned.
And that's what's going on with me. So I have a hard time reading chat room messages and doing this. So I don't know if you can see the chat room messages.
I can see. Hey, everybody, what's up? Hurricane Barsha or Barca, depending on your pronounce Barca. What's up? Al, I wasn't trying to kick him off. I think he had to go get something to drink. I think the garlic naan has run my man dry. I tell you what, I can hear everything wonderfully with these Bowers and Wilkins headphones.
Fantastic. So how's the trip going for you?
It's been amazing. Yeah. I don't think we knew how cold it would be, Sean. I think when we
in December in Virginia.
Yeah, I think we thought like leaves turning, it'll be in the fall, and then turns out we both have pretty demanding work schedules, and so it didn't clear up until the second week of December.
Yep.
And it's chilly in places.
I absolutely believe that.
But it's been amazing.
Cool.
Have you been up the Blue Ridge Parkway before?
I can't say that I have. So like the road trip that you are doing with Ryan is very different from the road trip we do because unfortunately, I think that's why you're doing what you're doing, is you guys are stopping to smell the roses, so to speak, and you're actually looking at cool stuff, whereas with us, it's destination to destination because we've got a dinner to record.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to lie. When y'all do road trips, to be totally fair, it sounds pretty brutal.
It is. It is absolutely brutal.
So intense.
Yeah.
As y'all know, you got to work around everybody else's schedule and
Yep.
in your own. And I think the fans can appreciate what it takes to get the product to them.
Yeah.
But this trip really is meant to be a different thing. It's trying to hit every small town that you can and really see the world that's out there that we don't have a chance to do all the time. So it's very purpose built in that way. And I think Continental, they've always been such big supporters of us and of you guys, and really the idea of getting out there and seeing what this country has to offer. That's why we always do the Hot Rod Power Tour. It's the same sort of stuff that you really get to see the world in a different way. But the Blue Ridge Parkway is so beautiful. I do wish there were parts of me that wish we were in much faster, sportier cars.
Sure.
But I also know that that's not always a possibility.
Sure.
And that didn't work for this trip. But I do think we're going to spend a day hitting some tiny fun places in January in our tiny vans together.
Yay! Now, okay, so there's more to come.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
That won't be part of
That's
Cruising
like
the
a
Continental
cartoon.
US. That'll just be like Rut and Ryan. Ryan and Rut.
No.
Take over.
Excuse me. I didn't
over
demand
Atlanta.
top billing. I didn't demand that.
No, you get it.
No, he'll just
It'll
be demanding offline.
Yes, Rut take Atlanta in tiny vans. But, amazing.
Do you have a tiny van? I apologize. I don't pay enough attention
I think it's
to
a
your
good
car
size
collection.
van, Sean. I wouldn't call my van tiny.
If there's
I
one
think
thing,
it's good.
I have no doubt you use it effectively.
Just got wet.
I have every confidence in your ability to use your tiny van effectively, but I do. You do? Okay.
I have a Suzuki Every all-wheel drive turbo 5-speed van, which
fun.
Ryan doesn't want to talk about because my van is like so much faster.
There's
than his tiny van.
There's nothing that's based on that. There's no basis.
You don't
for
think
that.
I can back that up?
No, I don't. I think it'll be exactly
Sean,
the same.
you've been around a lot of race cars. Do you think a turbo race car of the same engine size as a non-turbo would be faster?
I think I have to spend a lot more time in a car with Ryan than you, and I don't want to fucking hear about it.
That's a good answer.
Uh-huh.
Said he has to spend a lot more time in the car with you, and he's not going to answer.
Yeah. Goddamn right. Yeah.
We'll find out in January, won't we?
There we go.
In the world's slowest and most painful drag race.
We can get out and let them do it themselves.
We could. We could just push them down a strong hill. So yes, we both have tiny fun vans. That's good. What percentage of my kids would fit in that van? 100%. But I will say, Elle, it's now embarrassing to my 13-year-old. She doesn't want me to take her to school in that.
Oh no! Are we already at that stage?
Yeah, Sean, we hit that stage like a ton of bricks. It was a light switch from 12 to 13.
Gosh darn it! I'm sorry.
And you know what I hope? I hope she doesn't find Google. If she thinks that van is embarrassing,
Just Google Dad.
don't look Dad up. Oh boy! Like we're in a place where things have kind of calmed down. But there's some real garbage that's out there with my face on it. Oh goodness.
Yeah. Even when you're not trying. Like one of you talked about this actually on our podcast, and I always remember this story because it's such a statement of your life. When they announced that you were taking on, when you were taking
Top
on
Gear.
duties for Top Gear, they chose the worst, most embarrassing. Look at this buffoon kind of photo, and that's just your entire life. So I can only imagine what the 13-year-old might think.
Absolutely. You know, that was the tuxedo that I rented to cover the NASCAR banquet because they kept saying you had to have a tux.
Yeah.
And I in my second year or whatever, I was like, I'm not going to wear a tux to a sport that a lot of people don't wear a shirt to. That just seems messed up. And they're like, you have to if you want to be there. So I was like, okay.
Okay.
So I got one. And then when they announced the show, that was the picture they used from this pink rental tuxedo.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, who's the gay host for
Right.
NASCAR?
And like this is already a treacherous time because it's Top Gear, it's the American adaptation,
Right.
so easy to hate already from just like
was-
the internet being the internet. So like okay, now
Right.
here's the look at the flamboyant guy,
And I'll cap it with this, and then I'll pass it back over to Ryan. 2 days ago, we were at a shop checking on one of our tires,
Yeah.
and this kid had a really cool Scion FRS purple one, and his buddy came over. He's like, "Oh, were you a Top Gear fan?" The guy's like, "Well, I watched the British show.
Yes."
Didn't really watch the U.S. show." Now, keep in mind, I just want to point out, I had just gifted this guy. I just gave him a set of tires. for having a cool car. And he says, yeah, I was a bigger fan of the UK show. And I, without skipping a beat, says, I just want you to know, I was a big fan of the UK show too. If you think Clarkson would be over here talking to you about your purple FRS, you're out of your mind.
Right.
I said, so maybe you should have watched a little bit of the US one.
Yep.
And I bid you adieu, sir.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
So that's the.
Never mind. I need to not make the joke I want to make.
Yep.
I would say your reputation's different.
It is. But you know what? Maybe I'll make it big when I punch someone over cold cuts.
Okay.
Fired.
Okay.
And then rehired at 10 times the price.
You just opened up the door for where I was going. It was like, I bet you can turn
False
the camera
titles.
to any of
False
your
titles.
turn that webcam to any of your crew, and I guarantee you've punched 0 of them.
I've yet to punch anyone.
Yeah. So
my
there's
best
that.
friend in 6th grade, Richard Davis, punched me repeatedly in the face as we had a fight. We're still friends today.
There you go. Yeah.
Last fight I was in, it sucked.
Yeah, that's coming from the production standpoint. When I heard the stories of what was gone over there, I felt like I was in a very small minority. It's like, did no one notice the fact that he was violent with crew members, and no one's got a problem with that? So
no, and here's the kicker: without that producer, their show wouldn't have been good enough to take anywhere else. So the irony just was not lost.
So you're saying the producer is a big part of the show's success, not just the supposed stars?
Who could ever believe
Is that what you're saying, Rutledge?
What I'm saying is James May and Richard Hammond are both delightful guys. And that's the truth.
Very good.
I've never met the other one, but I promise you, if I meet him and there's cold cuts, I'm just going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to punch him.
Well, Jacob
and I'm
Campbell.
Say, this is for everyone.
Jacob Campbell just won the race. If you want to say some nice things to
Jacob, way
Campbell.
to go. Hold on, I got to put Ryan on.
Okay.
Sean, I love you.
You too.
Jacob just won.
Yeah.
You take over.
All right.
Hit a button. I'm so sorry.
What'd you do? I don't. What'd you do? I'm coming over. I'm coming in. All right. Great job, guys. Great job. Wow. I didn't know this could get this big. I'm sick. Hi.
Jacob Campbell won.
Hey, nice job, man.
And he's flipping. All right, so we're gonna get some dog. We'll do one Jacob interview, specifically his dog. And I'm
little Miles time, and then we're good.
Little Miles time. We'll see if there's anything to close out with, but otherwise, I can't speak for you, but I have some work to do.
Yeah, we have a day as well. No, not like your day. By the way, you'll appreciate this.
Okay.
The guys that are doing our filming stuff are like, yeah, we can't do dinner because we got to clear out cards tonight. And I was like, it's fun to watch.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do.
I know this. And
I know exactly what you mean.
I heard a word though that will incense me is I heard guys to clear out cards.
Oh yeah, there's 3 of them.
Yeah, and they're probably all clearing their individual cameras. Is it a 1-to-1 ratio on people to cameras?
No.
Oh, okay. Is it close to our ratio? We're about 1-to-6.
Yeah, no, and I've told them stories about our show because everybody that's working on our show has seen Dinner with Racers.
Sure.
And so I'm like, yeah, Shoshana, like, is it really? And I showed them that time lapse of us setting up.
Yeah.
From earlier this year, and they're like, oh, man, that sucks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But that's it's either that or we don't do what we do.
That's what we chose. That's what we chose.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
All right, let's see if we can get some Jacob Campbell up.
Yeah.
How are the? Let's look at the. And more importantly, Miles. Miles. Now, if you, for those of you on the Twitters, we demanded that Miles drive in the final race last week, and they did post a video on the Twitters. I don't remember Jacob's handle, but they did, in fact, post Miles trying to drive it. And as is normal with those kind of dogs, it's just him staring back at mom filming, going, "Why are you making me do this?" But it exists. So in our top 10, Jacob Campbell taking a 5-lap win over Christian Abbott, Justin Parcher P3, Mark Coppin P4, John Cantu doing a little better in the last race with P5, followed by Lane Walker, Daniel Parks, Connor Kennard, Lance Snyder, and Steve Lubender, former Porsche factory driver.
That's right.
So let's see what Jacob Campbell has to say, and we'll see what to do about the rest of the night here, because you and I both have stuff going on. Jacob, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
More importantly, there's Miles. This is all we wanted.
Yes!
There we go.
Yes!
Hello, Miles. Does Miles have any clue what's going on?
No.
Yeah.
tired and ready for bed.
I
He's
believe
been
it.
sleeping all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So how'd it go? It looked like because you ran the Wednesday night races last night, and you were really, really strong. You have the most boring approach to dirt track racing I've ever seen, but it's very fast. and it didn't work out in race 1. What happened?
I had to use both my resets in the first race, like 15 laps in. So I was had to drive very conservative the rest of the way. But I got all the way back up to second. I think I was 4 or 5 laps down, and I only finished 1. So we're making up time. I tried running the top like Steven did, but I found that it was a lot easier to get into accidents. And if you ran the bottom, it was much easier to keep the car straight. And if somebody wrecked in front of you, you could get out of the way.
Very good. So it seemed like you fell back a little on this one. You had to stop, and you came back up. Is that what happened?
Yeah, we had to use a reset. We got wrecked pretty early on.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody else. No, you don't need those. And then we just kind of kept plodding along and tried to keep one reset towards the end, just in case. I mean, even when the cars are damaged, they're not really any slower. So just as long as you don't lose a wheel or anything, you can kind of keep going.
Very good.
As long as it's still drivable.
I got you. And so now that you've got the big W, is Miles going to drive the next one?
Yeah, we can see what Miles got in the dirt. He hasn't put any practice this week, so we'll see how.
All right.
We'll see how he does.
Yeah, you look like you got your hands full over there, but I think my favorite comment so far is Miles is getting a lot of love in the chat, but Hurricane Barca said it best. Hi, Miles, and congrats to Jacob, I guess.
Yes. Miles is on here. Sorry. He's trying to get into stuff he's not supposed to. Come here, buddy.
Perfect. It's perfect.
He will be at the Riley race at Watkins Glen. He will be on the Silver Crown car. We're working on that. So he will be there for that.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well,
great job, man, and obviously better job to Miles.
Yes, Miles is definitely the most popular person in our family.
Understood. That's how it goes with the dog life. All right. Well, congratulations. You going to be at next week?
Yeah, I will be driving the F1 car again next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So while we're there, or while we're talking about it, so next week we are racing a very similar format. We're going to have F1 cars. We're going to have GTOs and stock cars and dirt streets and legends and all kinds of stuff. The damage will be a little bit different. We won't have the Mercedes cars, but we're going to be racing at Crandon, which is also a dirt track, but it is a dirt road course. Is that what I don't know if they're technically called that or not.
Sure.
But it's got jumps,
Yes,
it's got hills. Go ahead.
They are dirt road courses. That's how they're licensed in iRacing.
Okay. But it's got some hills and some whoops and all kinds of stuff. And it's originally built for the things like the jumpy trucks, which of course we've spent years making jumpy truck races that aren't made for jumpy trucks. So of course now that we're at a track made for jumpy trucks, we're not going to run the jumpy trucks.
Of course not. Absolutely not.
And so we're going to have the McLaren F1, the dirt street stocks. The Mercedes won't be there because the damage model is a little different. And that'll be that. But we'll have a very cool guest host, a guy who knows his way around this kind of track, a young man by the name of Brendan Gaughan, who knows a thing or two about off-road racing.
Yeah, Brendan's the man.
He is. So.
Awesome.
All
Great
right.
job, Jacob. We appreciate it. And again, thanks for the show on Miles. I think we could probably just have Miles playing fetch on here, and that would get the same amount of views.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well, we're going to
thanks, guys. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Ryan, what do you think? We both got work.
I think we are getting out of here.
Yeah, so we're gonna stay live, just because it's no big deal to leave the stuff on. So Ryan and I are gonna take off. I might show up at the very end to interview the winner, like I did last week and the week before that. But we're gonna cut off the commentary, let you see race 3 for yourself. We will be back next week with same time, same channels. We'll be here with Brendan Gaughan. And then the week after that, we will have the St. Riley Holiday Spectacular, which is very exciting, with a surprise guest host that would be no surprise at all. And then we'll take a little break for the holiday, and that will mark the end of our regular season. Then we'll have a couple of post-race seasons, and then we'll be done for a little while and back to everyone's day jobs. That's all we got.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a chance to win a free set of tires, Continental's giving away a couple of sets of tires on the road trip that Rutledge and I are on. So check out cruisingthecontinentalus.com, and you might be able to win a free set of tires. But in the meantime, thanks for tagging all of our partners, whether it be Acura, Honda, Valvoline, but especially Continental. That stuff goes a long way, and seeing those tweets, especially about the podcast, is a big deal. Also, the guests that you like. I got a direct message from Scott McLaughlin yesterday saying how much he loved the podcast and how grateful he was for all the comments. So things like that go a long way with the people we interview, but also with us. So we appreciate that.
And on that note, bye.
There are now 28,952 cases of coronavirus here in Ohio. A total of 12,615 people have been hospitalized since March, an increase of 86 from yesterday.
We spoke with another racetrack who mentioned that politicians aren't necessarily alien to golf courses.
Yeah.
And so an event like a Golf Masters or something like that might get pushed a little bit faster, whereas racing's not necessarily a politician's sport that they go and play on Saturday or Sunday when they have the day off.
I would say that we as an industry have not done a good job representing ourselves.
Dirt track racing or motorsport as a whole?
Motorsports as a whole. That's probably something that we got to change pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is that in terms of just it's hard to classify?
Speedways are not mentioned in anything.
So, like, you'll see campgrounds, you'll see gathering events or gathering coliseums, things like that.
Yeah.
But a racetrack
stadiums,
doesn't.
arenas, amusement, entertainment.
So, right. And so what is a racetrack and all of that? It's not defined here in Ohio.
And Ohio's got racetracks, quite a few.
61.
Here in June, we're right in the nexus of that battle between lives versus livelihoods.
Right.
And with altering science every week and different media reports and whatnot, it's so hard to make that call as to where that balance is. As it relates to something like a racetrack, which is sort of a microcosm of that small business scenario, is there a process you feel like you have to go through to make that choice?
There's a variety of sources of information for elected officials. Newspapers, the media, TV news, and so forth. In my mind, the best source is my constituents, the 85,000 people that have hired me to work for them. But then lobbyists, and we talked earlier, a NASCAR can hire a lobbyist, but Ace Speedway can't afford to hire a lobbyist. And to many folks, lobbyist is a bad word. But at the same time, there is value in having someone who understands an industry and understands politics and that can come explain their position on the issue to me.
I would argue in the grand scheme of short tracks, dirt tracks, nationwide Eldora is one of, if not the biggest track out there.
Yeah, you don't have to argue. It's true.
Humble brag. Excuse me. In our whole tour, it seems like the bigger tracks are far more compliant. Is that cause or effect?
Tony owns this place. He wants to do things right. I think the other thing you got to look at it is Tony actually owns this place.
So if you guys, for lack of a better expression, went rogue, this doesn't become Eldora is fighting with the government to keep themselves out there.
Right.
It's literally one of the biggest names in motorsport that's going to be attached to this, and he's going to end up on the Today Show.
Go from Eldora to Tony Stewart's racetrack.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
I came down from Kentucky, a place called Breezy Creek. That cornbread and buttermilk was all I had to eat. I have served my country, worked for Uncle Sam, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. Oh, give me that cornbread and buttermilk, the country boys delight. I eat it every morning and I eat it every night. Some people like fried chicken, others like the ham, but cornbread and buttermilk made me what I am. me what I am.
All right, we are here for race number 3 here to close out Thursday Night Blunder. Like we said, if you were watching before the video break, Ryan is done for the night. I am going to take it easy as well. We're going to leave the feed up. I'll be back at the end maybe to talk to our race winner, but otherwise that'll be that. So we are just a few minutes away from qualifying here in race 3. There looks like there's about a minute left. Christian Abbott currently P1, followed by Ian Farrell, who I think is running his first race of the night. And then Ed Smith, Alan Space, William Booz, and John Canty. So a lot of our normals out there running here. We've got, what is it, a minute and 10 seconds left in practice. Let's see, any chat room questions before we take off? Thank you, El Macron. Joe Leahy asking, has this year been easier than last year? The short answer is generally yes. From just a sort of a system standpoint, you know, we've got a lot of the bugs worked out that we learned. You know, we're not, as much as I'm in the video space, I'm not a iRacing web streamer by trade. And so during the original Blunder last year, we made some blunders in terms of how we had to set up, and a lot of that's all worked out. So these run a lot smoother from that standpoint. But there's always challenges like just getting people and availability. And also we had the advantage last year of having a lot of free time because you couldn't do a whole lot during the shutdown. Now it's actually a much busier schedule for myself and for Ryan. So it's push and pull, but that's just the deal. El Macron wanting to know, is it possible to say William Booz without a German accent? The answer is absolutely not. Or better said, 9. That's all I got. All right, we're going to turn the sound up. You'll see qualifying in a minute, then you'll see the race. And if you want to stay around, by all means, maybe I'll answer a few things over chat. And we'll talk to the race winner, should he choose to be on when it's all over. Otherwise, we'll be back in a bit. Once I figure out how to put the thing up. There we go. Getting there. I'm still new. right, there's about 12 laps to go, so I figure I'll check back in here. And I don't know what is going on, but Christian Abbott did have a pretty healthy lead. And now he's down to a 5-lap lead. He was up by like 7 or 8 laps. And looks like quite a bit of trouble. I don't know if Christian is out of resets, but it's definitely not looking good. He's still 5 laps up on the field, but definitely a little bit of a meltdown, or maybe he was just helping getting somebody rolled over since he was so many laps up. I don't know. But since there's still a handful of you still on here, we'll see it through to the end. We are 65 out of 75 laps complete. Christian Abbott has basically everything to win. He's 4 laps up on Ed Smith. Ed Smith, I think, he's in one of our Audis. We have had dominance from the F1 cars, and Christian is keeping that theme going. But with the trouble that Christian's having, we could have finally a race where F1 does not win here at the very end. Christian is definitely struggling, and based on the damage on his car, I'd say he's out of reset, so he's got to nurse this home to the end. There's still 9 laps to go. And as we see the onboard here, we'll keep the onboard on. Let's see if there's anything obvious. Let's get the roll bar cam going. There we go. So looking at the steering input he's putting in, it's definitely a handful. I would say there's definitely, judging by the way it's crabbing around the front straight, there's definitely some front end damage or some sort of suspension damage. Obviously, he's got no body work left on the car, so at this point, for Christian, it's just about nursing it home, not hit other cars, not get to the point where actual pieces of the car are completely knocked off. I'm guessing he's out of resets at this point, so he's just trying to nurse it back. Oh, and there's lots of opportunities for him to ruin it. See him sawing at the wheel here. That's all the indication that you need that everything is not right with the suspension of that car. And obviously with no front wing, it doesn't help anything. He's got nothing to buffer his impact. So he's just got to get around here. How many laps are we done now? We have 70 laps in the books. So just 5 laps to go for Christian, who's just got to nurse it home. He's got a 5-lap lead on Ed Smith in one of the Audis. So it is all Christian's race. It's Christian's domain. He just needs to just limp it home here. Should be 4 laps to go now. You can see he's taking the low line, just giving himself all the space he has to the wall, staying out of contact. I believe that's 3 or 4 laps to go now. Yep, 3 laps to go. And now he'll cross the stripe, so 2 laps to go for Christian Abbott. 5 laps up on everybody else. Lots of damage on the car. He just needs to make it, just needs to not get hit by anybody. You can see how gingerly he's getting around other cars because you don't know what their damage is. You don't know what their intentions are. We're not giving out any Best Snipe awards for tonight, or for this race, I should say, this round. We'll give one out from race 1 because that was amazing. But this should be the white flag, I think, that Christian's coming around for. And I don't know what he's doing. I think this is it. Nope. Are we finishing backwards? Is this what we're doing? Or did he already? Yep. Christian's going to take the checkered flag backwards, I believe. And that's going to call it. Race is over. Congrats to Christian Abbott for making it happen. And any big crashes? Are we going to hit him? Here we go. Nope, nope, nope. Just people doing things. All right, so Christian, I'll give you a couple minutes if you want to jump in the Zoom call. I'll pull you up and we'll talk for a minute. There we go. That's what we were looking for. Otherwise, we will call it a night. All right, so we'll stick around for a minute here, see if Christian joins our little Zoom lobby area. Otherwise, that is another night of Thursday Night Blunder in the books. Once again, we just have 2 more weeks of the regular season remaining. We will be at Crandon next week, and then the Watkins Glen Short Course to close out the year and our regular season. That will not be the end of Thursday Night Blunder. It'll just mean the end of our points championship. We will have 2 more remaining events in January. We'll have our last chance qualifier, which will basically take everybody that's not eligible for the final and give them sort of a final ultimatum to qualify for that big final event. The format for that racing has already been announced to the league participants. If you are familiar with our series and how we did a very similar LCQ last year, then you'll know it's going to be the same format because it was the most amazing thing we've ever done. And then the end of the year world final, well, we'll just have to see what that is. All right, Christian is going to go ahead and say nope to the interview. He's going to give me the time to shut this all down, and I will take advantage of that. Thank you all for joining. Once again, it's been a fun night. Thanks to Ryan, thanks to Rutledge, thanks to Marco, thanks to Tyler, but most importantly, thanks to Lin St. James for giving time that she absolutely didn't need to give for this dumb league. But honestly, it's because of fans like you who make the engagement worth it, making all the cool liveries worth it, and making sure that our guests have a good time and see that this is something the cool kids are all doing. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We will see you same time next week.
Are you not entertained?